Welcome to another episode of If Lands Could Kill. I'm Knifecity.
This is Ryke.
Samhain Crow.
Hot sauce.
And this is episode 53. Big 1 times 5 plus other numbers.
Oh my God.
It's a 5 followed by a 3.
Yeah.
This is the math cast for sure. Everyone here is fantastic at math.
Yep, I'm teaching algebra right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just out here changing lives. That's all I'm doing. But let's hear from you guys first. How has your week been?
Really, though.
Really? How has your week been?
I don't even have, anything, really. This weekend, me and Ryke went to a all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink festival, which was actually really, really fun because it's
fucking rocking.
It's I don't even know, maybe 15 beer vendors and 20 to 30 wine vendors.
Well, the whole thing was all local stuff.
It was all local
mostly
stuff.
local stuff, so we had a lot of good shit.
And then
we had a lot of good local stuff.
The food was just every company in San Diego, I feel not really, but I mean, there was 30
There's a good
plus.
representation of San Diego.
And so they had they have wings and things or something like that, right? And so they'll have one of their, not wings, but the chicken tenders or whatever. And you just go up and you just get that little small tapas size fucking appetizer plate, and you just go up there and grab that. And then you're eating that in line to go get some fucking other thing, you know what I mean? And you just keep going to all these places. They had 50-50, Slater's 50-50, and Bull Weevils was there, and all kinds of other.
Fucking Bull Weevils, dude.
They were representing hard.
Their burgers, I went there a year ago, and they totally changed everything. It's all modern now. It used to just be real old school.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just old school.
Wagon wheel old school.
Yeah.
It's it's place you go after Little Leagues games.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's exactly.
You have
so live there at Little League.
You have the trophy party.
Yeah.
And then the one dad just gets a little too drunk. Off that Bud Light.
Yeah, the 99-cent Bud Light. Pitchers for fucking $3.50. Why not? Yeah, so we did this thing, and I mean, I can't really talk it up. Just let you know, it's just very, very enjoyable to listen to live music, which was just bluegrass music, whatever. But then you're just eating as much as you can and drinking as much as you can in a 4-hour period, and everything was just fantastic.
You know what? I like bluegrass.
Bluegrass in live, totally acceptable.
Way better than green grass.
It's the best. Dude, best in the West. Yeah, it's way better than country, I'll tell you that much.
It's the punk rock version of country.
Okay.
It's sped up and the banjos are going.
Banjo is going crazy though, a little bit.
Yeah, you make a very good, valid comparison.
Yeah.
Plus, all the guys had no sleeves and fucking egg whites in their hair, spiking up their hair and shit. It was crazy. Fucking madness.
Say they're shredding that banjo, though, man.
They're spitting on the crowd.
Blood.
Yeah, it was rad. Yeah, so that happened.
Fucking bluegrass, folk, Americana music out there. If you mean, obviously you're only gonna hear radio shit, which is not the good shit, but there's actually a decent amount of really good quality, legit music.
I just feel if it's live, then it has to be good. As long as genres like that, just a orchestra type genres,
where there's more than
instrumental
a
genres.
3-piece.
Well, just instrumental genres. I don't really care what it is, as long as it's not a singer. You know what I mean? You can just have whatever in the background. I'm I'm just enjoying this. You know?
Yeah.
Because the energy level's going to be up for that kind of a band. I mean, they're going to be going out there slapping the bass, doing all kinds of fun shit.
Yeah, they were loving it. So
I feel that's the whitest part about me is my love for bluegrass music. Other than that, not so white.
Hatred towards minorities?
Yeah.
No, my penis is large.
Okay.
In comparison to the rest of white people.
White American people. So very big.
So big.
Besides that, I bought a bedroom set. So I bought, besides a car and a house, the most expensive shit I've ever purchased before. Just to get the full...
the real stuff,
too. The real shit.
It's expensive.
The guys are, bringing it... So I have, a 2-story little, townhome, and the stairs are, pretty fucking steep. And there's not a whole... It's
a sharp angle, too.
It's a sharp angle, and, you go up, you go up half a flight, and then it turns around, and then you go back up, the other half, and that's why you get to the second story. So, getting a fucking dresser, a full hardwood massive dresser up that thing... These guys were big Mexican dudes. They were pretty big. And they were doing 2 stairs at a time and then taking a break. It was like, I was watching them and I'm watching TV and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not envious of these guys.
Yeah, no.
This looks like shit. And they were just like sweating like fucking crazy.
You turn the AC off.
They stole something. They probably stole some shit from me. Yeah, exactly.
On the way out, like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. So yeah, they were. I was just watching them build all this shit. I'm like, man, that is some heavy fuck. They were having problems with the end tables, like the nightstands. There's a little 2-drawer nightstand. They're like, this thing is fucking heavy. I'm like picking it up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it is. It's like 100 pounds. So yeah, that was a pretty penny. But dude, like getting like the new Tempur-Pedic fucking with like the cooling mat on it or whatever. It's all like colder than a normal bed and it's amazing.
Nice.
See, I can't even get up in the morning because the alarm goes off. I'm like, nah, I can call in sick to work, right? That's fine. Yeah. So actually, work like the union doesn't have like if you don't work, you don't get paid. Like there's no exceptions. There's no like vacation or any of that kind of stuff. It's just like you work, you get paid. Nothing else in the middle. But I guess like this month, September 1st or something like that, or I don't even know, maybe a couple months ago, they introduced like we're actually getting like sick day time now. So you actually like accumulate like, I think it's only like 3 hours a month or something like that or whatever it is. But we actually can take a sick day and get fucking paid, which is the most unusual shit ever. I thought I'd go my whole life without having that luxury. So
I bet they started doing that because now at least California law is everybody gets sick leave, like 3 days pay of the year. But because it's a union, it's their own contract, so that supersedes the new state law. But I'm guessing they're probably, like everybody I'm sure is upset and wanting that.
Yeah, I think that is what it is.
So they're trying to like vote it in or whatever, trying to start some kind of program like that because now it's state law, so at some point to avoid some sort of fucking
backlash,
some sort of lawsuit, we might as well start doing it now of some kind of form.
It's not really news for the listener, I get it, but like it's just an unusual thing. If anyone out there is like a union worker, like that kind of stuff is far and few, you know, I can't talk about
exactly.
Few and far between the things and the stuff. Yeah. So, I don't even know what happened this week. I mean, I just slept all the fucking time. I get home now and I just take a nap for an hour and a half. and then like 5 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, oh man, what the fuck am I gonna do now? I don't even know. Jerk off.
Go back to sleep.
Jerk off before my lady comes home.
To E-Flex?
Yeah, to E. Oh, dude, so we gotta talk about that, right? Come on.
We lightly touched on it last week.
Dude. When I watch E-Flux, I also lightly touch on it. But I can't do anything more than that because it's all wrong.
When the next fucked up thing happens, like, oh my god, I just came to that. Oh,
I feel
like that girl's getting pounded, and then you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, oh no, that's gonna do shit everywhere. Ah, damn it.
I feel like I've brought news from the West or something to you guys. You hadn't heard about it, and it's not even like it's just.
They say it basically it's like comedy for adults. Basically, it was like something like it's an adult humor channel. Basically,
it is comedy for fucked up individuals.
Well, absolutely.
Okay, so but
all adults are. I mean, we all are, and we might like hide it, but I mean, everyone's pretty sick.
If you think like funny, fucked up porn bloopers type of stuff is funny, then E-Fucked is the place to go. And it's usually like the cool down period, like after I jack off, I like go watch it, and I'm just like, ha, I don't feel so weird now for whatever the hell I was watching, you know. But it's fucking hilarious.
If you want to like see a horse fuck some little Vietnamese girl, that's probably what the site to go to. Weird stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that's not.
It's on there.
That shit makes my stomach hurt. Like, oh god!
Because you can feel the dick in you.
Yeah, I feel it up in the chestal section.
Chestals.
Oh fuck! How about more like the balls getting stepped on by high heels? How about that? That's more.
God.
That's definitely on there.
I like just the regular porn bloopers, like, you know, someone farts in the chick's face and she gets all pissed and chases him around the room. And
there's a lot of women crying on that site, by the way. There's a lot of porn stars or amateur porn stars just like crying. You know, like, turn the fucking camera off.
It came in my eye. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. So, I don't even know. I can't say anything more. Spoilers for Zendikar. Awesome stuff, right? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Great.
What do you guys got?
Great.
I had a job interview for a security guard type, not bouncer, because I'm not actually, covering the door for a bar downtown. My buddy works there, and I interviewed for it yesterday, and it's obviously in general less money than I usually make, but talking to the guy, it's like, yeah, it's minimum wage, but they average anywhere from $10 to $12 an hour for how you get tipped out. So he's like, yeah, it's basically like a $22 an hour job. I'm like, well, that sounds fucking good, and I basically can work as many shifts as I want, so Yeah, okay, sounds good. And then my buddy was working that night, who ended up going in after my interview, talking to him, and he's like, yeah, dude, he likes you. So it sounds like it's a pretty good, I'll be getting that job overall. So.
That's a lot of those kind of jobs, like bartender type jobs, and those ones that you can work like 5-hour shifts, then you get paid like that, in a good adequate amount, so a lot of people can like live off that shit. Then it's like hard to get away from though, because it's like a good, dollar amount per hour, and then it's like you have to start off at a normal job making like $13 an hour to working 40 hours a week to get back up to the $20-something an hour.
There's like no like job security and like you probably don't get health benefits, but you get like good like cash.
Yeah,
like,
you get cash and then free drinks and stuff like that. It's hard to get away from. There's a lot of people that just get sucked in for 15 years of that shit.
I'm actually surprised he said that they actually, when he's told me, like, I didn't even ask the question because I assumed there'd be no health benefits, but he's like, actually, yeah, if you hit 30 hours a week, I have like 6 to 9 positions that can be paid at full time getting benefits. And he goes, and currently I don't have that. So in theory, if I decided to do that, I could actually get health benefits from this place, which I was very surprised by.
That's pretty dope.
And he's like, yeah, it's actually pretty good health coverage. I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking good news.
Well, I hope you like it. I mean,
so I do too. I mean, at the most, like for right now, it's just getting one for now to hold me over to finding a job in the fields I do and whatnot, or getting my company with my dad started back up and getting that going. But so that was good. Other than that, I spent a good amount of time reorganizing my rare binders and stuff like that, because with a rotation coming up, other than I have like one standard deck that has combo cards that are rotating out and cards that are going to be standard. And my rare binder had gotten so thick that it was like getting too big, and I was worried about cards getting like messed up. So I made it into 2 binders now, so now I have a standard binder of fucking rares and one that's, modern or everything else. So it's, that's time consuming to do that kind of a fucking thing though.
I totally enjoy putting my cards in order from set and color. And
it's relaxing.
I must be the only one that fucking hates organizing any cards. I just throw mine all in this this fucking cardboard box and mix match with fucking lands and everything. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. There's nothing good in there.
Dude, if I had a mythic rare next to a fucking basic land, I'd freak out. What the hell is that?
They're all in booster boxes. They're just loose.
That's all the guys. That's the fucking Ian and all his friends. Ian, Ian doesn't do that, I don't think, but the other guys,
his
Dan
brother
and
his friends.
You see the boxes of shit, and you're like, dude, you have a Stormbreath Dragon just hanging out. He's like, oh, I have that? I'm like, oh my god, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, going through stuff like that little deal is geez, I'm thumbing through fucking fetch 20 commons and this and that to a fetch land, to a fucking dig through time, back to a fucking uncommon. It's what is happening with this fucking box of cards right now? This is retarded.
I like the finished product of organizing all the shit, but doing it is so fucking boring and time consuming that fuck.
See, I like organizing. It's all good.
I'm in between where I start off liking it because I'm I want to get this done. I want it organized, and I love how it is afterwards. But then I take so long fucking doing it that halfway through, I'm gonna make it like you said, set order and all those kind of things too, and better cards first or whatever's gonna happen. I start doing that, and then by the time I make it through 2 or 3 colors, I'm like, nah, I don't give a shit anymore. Just fucking let's get them in a semi-organized spot rather than extremely organized.
By
the end, I'm like, oh my god, this is good, but fuck, this took so long.
We have a ranking right here where it goes from Ryke to Knifecity Crow to me as far as who likes to organize cards. It's funny, little increments. I wanted to say one thing also on the job front. About I forgot to even talk about it, is that I got a friend of mine from school when I had for the electrician thing we had a 5-year program, whatever. And he was there all 5 years, and then he started up his own company, and so he got he got fully licensed, and he talked to the union about what he needs to do, whatever, and so they gave him pretty much the okay. And so if that thing starts up, then he already basically said I can do it, but I can be their lead project manager for their new company.
Nice.
It'd be fucking super dope. That's one of those things about small shops is or small business in general. Once you're in and you're in the starting team, that's you're it. There's no one can take over your spot because it's they're not looking to he's not looking to grow. I think the shop would be a 10 to 15 man shop complete, with all employees, a receptionist and everything. Would be a 10 to 15 man shop.
That's the company that I want to work for. I like the smaller companies.
Yeah, it'd be fucking dope.
When the fucking hires actually know your name and who you are, not just some fucking number on a piece of paper with the fucking corporate assholes.
And this company would be him, the owner, his partner would be the superintendent, running the jobs, more hands on, and then I would be the project manager, and that would be that'd be the team. Which is really weird, to think that, I don't know, it's really small.
And even even if it only lasted like a couple years, like still, you can put like, I was a project manager for like, 3 years, no big deal.
Yeah. On a startup company that did this and these projects, and like, it'd be like really
it just
sweet
looks
resume
good.
stuff. The project manager thing I had before was like only for 4 months, and it's different because like when you're in a big company, there are like 15 project managers, so like you don't feel like upper echelon. You don't feel like you really mean anything. You can be replaced.
Right.
But with like any small job, it doesn't matter project managing, it's just any kind of job like that where it's like a mom and pop, and you're doing this one role. That's it. You're the person, and that's fucking. I don't know what that feeling is, but I'm like looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm happy for you on that.
We'll see what happens. I mean, he's gonna do it no matter what. But we'll see I don't even know if I can do it because I literally just have to take it. I have to go into like an empty office building that we like rent out, this little like 1,200 square foot thing, and just like be in a company with them. I'll be like,
just figure it out.
I hope to find a job.
Who the fuck does that? A lot of people do that. But that's scary though. I don't know.
We just started. I swear we're good workers. Give us a job.
Yeah, I have to like literally just like have it. I have a blank sheet, and I'm like, all right, just find people, find jobs to bid on, find this. I'm like, okay. Look at the phone, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know step one.
Where do I start? How do I find a job that's starting?
Google, how do I project
Where do I bid?
It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where, like, George gets a new job and the guy who hired him goes on vacation and he just has no idea what to do. So he's just, like, sharpening pencils all day. Just taking naps and shit.
That's like the fucking Peter Griffin when he has he runs I think it was the tobacco company or whatever.
Oh, right.
Becomes like the CEO, president, whatever it is. And then he's doing that. He has 2 pencils all the way down to like the fucking eraser. And he's looking around the room, and then he like fucking zips his pants and taking it. It's just stupid, but I mean, I get the idea of just like I got to do something, but I don't know what to do, so let me occupy my time with something, So it's fucking awesome. Taking a pencil sharpener, it's step 1. I figured out step 1. All right. Woohoo!
Step 3.
That's the plan.
Crow. Sorry, I just had to get that in.
No worries. Other than that, we were talking about Destiny recently and wanting to get back into it a little bit. And now the new expansion coming out, the Taken King, which unfortunately, like apparently the expansion itself, I guess it's going to be some like this is a lot more to it, and like they're adding new character classes, basically not new character classes, but adding new variations to the current character classes.
They have like 2 things you can level up now, and they're going to add like a 3rd or a 4th.
Well, before, like as a hunter, you could be the dude who has the knives, and that could be your special.
Yeah,
or you can have the golden gun. So there's already 2. Now there's going to be a 3rd one. So now the hunter has you can use a bow. The Titan can use like a Thor's hammer situation.
Okay.
So there's a new variation to the class.
I heard, we talked about it, I think, in a previous class, right? About how it's all experience, not just like light and stuff. You mentioned that. So I was looking at like reviews of all this stuff, the Taken King, and everyone seems to love it. Which is weird because people don't normally love
Destiny,
but reviewers don't love Destiny. People it just gets a lot of playtime. But like when you look at reviews of it, people are just like, nah. I mean, I play it a lot, but like, nah, this thing has its issues. But people for some reason are like, oh, this is a huge improvement.
See, before I get into it more about why I want to buy the Taken King, my next point was it's unfortunately I was looking at it while you're in the game, and to actually get it, like there's a collector's edition you can buy for $60. The regular edition of the Taken King version of it is $40. So I'm like, oh,
it's a $40 expansion basically, yeah.
But again, to give them credit in the sense that this is from the get-go, that the game wasn't going to be like other games like a Call of Duty where they release a new one every year. This is now year 2 of Destiny, and instead of doing buy a whole new $60 disc and start everything over, this is just now like a World of Warcraft. Add a larger expansion to it, so now this is year 2 starting. So
I'm down with that. That sounds great.
Yeah, so I'm like, I turned it on for maybe 2 hours last night. I was playing again for the first time in probably 3 months. And after playing just for like 20 minutes and seeing all the new shit, which I'm about to talk about in a second, I'm like, that's when I looked at the Taken King and how much it costs. I'm like, oh, $40, I can't spend that now, but as soon as I can, I'm probably buying this expansion. Because not even playing the expansion, like, I talked to Knife, and I'm pretty sure have you turned it on in the last couple of months, really?
No, exactly. I just played the newest expansion, whatever the hell that was called. But.
So, to that point, I didn't realize that now there's so many new fucking things to it. It's like, there's like the regular, like the tower, like the social area where you get like missions and bounties.
Right, there's a new one of those.
There's a new one of those.
That came out in the last set, yeah.
Okay, well I didn't play that one yet, so like, that was all new to me. I was like, wow, that's cool. And now it's like there's new quest lines, not just bounties now on top of the story mode itself and bounties. Now there's quest lines for different, like being a hunter, there's a quest line with the queen. So she says, oh, go defeat this dude and whatever, and you go do that, and then, okay, come back here and talk to this guy. So there's new quest lines that give you experience, and like I like now that you level up more, and it's like that instead of like with light. And so like last night playing for 2 hours, I actually leveled up from 31 already to 33. So I was like, I like leveling up. I am worried that it's going to level so quickly. Like, I wish it would take longer because I'm pretty sure the cap is like 37. So it's like, it's still a fucking low cap as far as I know. So I'm going to have to get to the max level really quick already. So that's unfortunate. But I like the new leveling up part. What I found interesting too was when I last played, I had like 4 open exotic quest bounties.
Right.
And I turned it back on. They gave me all 4 weapons.
I heard about this.
And I turned back on. I get 3 months and go, yeah, exotic. I'm like, oh my god, what is happening right now? Like, yeah, I looked at the guns and I know they're the guns that I was working on previously because I remember the names and stuff. I'm like, I just got them for free. Like, I'm sure this is because they're going into year 2 and they're just kind of like trying to switch over to new quests and new bounties and stuff. But I was like, wow, they're giving me all...
though, yeah.
Instead of just cutting them off because you didn't finish in time, if you had that quest that bounty active, you just get those fucking exotics. I'm like, that's fucking sweet. So
I hear nothing but good things.
Cool. And playing the game, they have new styles of bounties, different things, and just everything about it was like, wow, I'm about to get back in the fucking... In the Destiny again. I mean, like the new like quest lines, and new like places, and new bosses to go fight. I was like, this is fucking sweet again. Like it was pretty fucking cool.
I wish that game fucking hooked me when I played it, but it just I was completely flaccid the whole time.
Unfortunate.
Utterly flaccid.
I mean, I have it on the 360 because I was playing with my roommate, but I don't know if he's going to play it again. So yeah, Xbox One. I already mentioned it before.
You have to start up all your shit over?
No. You can transfer it.
You can transfer? Oh, that's good.
One time, yeah, you just transfer it. So, I'll just get the Xbox One version and then play with you guys or play whatever.
I hope you do.
So these will just be better looking and just quicker load times and whatever else. That'll just be a nice improvement.
So. I'll probably upgrade. Like, I didn't really have anything against it. It's just my boner kind of went away for it. Like, it's still a good game. Still, like, gotta give it, props. But I just... stopped playing it and just didn't really want to spend money on the expansions.
Well, I can see the allure of the game. It's just it wasn't for me.
I think it's like I have played more multiplayer in this game than any other game as far as shooters go, for sure. Even more than like Call of Duty or something like that.
You're not a very big like multiplayer.
No, I like single player stories,
shooting games. Yeah,
this one's good though. It's like it just feels solid. And it feels just more exciting than a lot of the other ones. So, yeah, I just like it.
See, I'm pretty sure I bought the original season pass. So I got, like, the first, 2 DLCs to it. Right. So I was playing those already. It was just kind of funny. Like, it was just the timing of how much I was grinding it and playing it and starting to get burnt out on it and wanting to, slow down for a bit is right when those other ones came out. So even though I liked the first, DLC that came out and was playing it for a hot minute there, I didn't talk about on the cast how exciting it was, the new stuff and the new style of, enemies and things. It was just, unfortunately, at that moment, I was still kind of burnt out. So now I'm like, okay, I think it's time to revamp back into it.
You recovered from your burnt out.
So yeah, it's one of those okay, I'm gonna fucking ask for one of those fucking Xbox gift cards for Christmas and buy Taken King on there.
Nice. Sweet.
So again, Destiny again is fun. So that was pretty much my week. It's just side job starting with my dad. Hopefully getting that job at the security place, and then magic and video games. That's pretty much a typical week.
What more do you need in a week? So my week has been fucking just boring as always. We did do that, Sauce and I did do that thing over the weekend. It was funny because we went there and I of course got, pretty drunk. I told my wife when we were there, I'm like, we pretty much rock, paper, scissors to see who fucking drives every time we go out anywhere if we're going to be drinking, because she likes to drink and I like to drink. So anyways, I lose the
writing notes to myself. I'm a fucking stoner. I forget shit.
Fucking Knife is over here writing on a notepad. I'm looking at it, thinking he's trying to write to me.
No.
It says your name.
It says my name on it, so I'm confused.
I'm writing to myself because I'm dumb and I'll forget.
But anyway, so I lose the rock, paper, scissors with my wife, so I end up having to agreeing to drive. And of course I end up drinking too much, which is how I roll sometimes.
Far and few between.
Yeah, when it happens.
It's all free alcohol. Man.
Yeah, it was all free.
You pay a fee to get in, but then it's just drink. They have so many.
Yeah, there was so many good breweries. They had a bunch of wine.
Uber that shit back home.
Yeah, they had a few local wine places I've never heard of. So I tried 2 of them. And they were like,
the tannins. Oh, the tannins.
Yeah, that's good.
I was just thinking of, give me 6 switches. Or 6 or whatever you got.
Open bar, man.
I would walk in there asking for PBR, by the way.
Open bar, man. Okay, so did they have the Tijuana brewery there? Because, I mean, that is kind of local.
I didn't even know that's a thing. What the fuck is that?
No.
At the fair one time, me and Raheem fucking tried it because we did the little, pay whatever amount of money, you get the little 8-ounce, beer type of sampler.
Yeah.
And it was the worst fucking beer I've ever had in my entire life. Like, PBR is way better than that. Like,
That's saying something.
I puked because of how bad that beer was. I wasn't even drunk. I was just, my stomach was
made
angry.
from the semen of worms.
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
go on.
But anyway, so yeah, there was like so much good shit there. Like the local breweries, I love our local breweries here in San Diego because they are fucking awesome. And actually, there was this one from Seattle, which was they're breaking into the southern California Elysian, brewery, and they have this fucking it was like a pumpkin. What was it?
It was pumpkin spice.
It was a pumpkin spice. Whatever.
Did you get White Girl wasted?
That was really good.
It's like a brown ale, basically.
Yeah, it's like a brown ale, but it actually had a really good flavor. They'll have another one that's called like a Martian, or Space Dust or something like that.
Space Dust, yeah.
Which is a really good fucking beer. It's a high alcohol
IPA.
Yeah, IPA. But anyways, I ended up getting drunk. Luckily, we were kind of a walking distance to Sauce's place, so we ended up, my wife and I and Sauce and his woman ended up walking back to his place, and we drink a little more, and by the night's rolling down, it's like I'm already trashed. My wife's already mad that I was drinking so much, and I said that I was going to drive, and now she wants to go home. She's like the kind of person that doesn't like to stay at other people's houses. Like
my chick's same way, so I get the pain.
Like totally hates it. Like not only because she's worried because we both wear contacts, and we don't bring our contact stuff with us to take it out, and her eyes get really messed up because they're really sensitive to the contacts, and so if she ever has to sleep in them, the next morning, her eyes will just completely just messed up. And so,
you should just protect yourself and always have those.
I know, we should have just had it with us, like an emergency kit. But we didn't.
Don't even tell her so that when you fuck up, you just go, I'm covered.
Well, I didn't think I was going to get trashed off all this samples.
You never do.
But the guys, it just sneaks up on you. But we're getting full samples of these, usually they'll give you they give you a complimentary little wine glass that you would use to get your samples in, and usually they would just fill regular sample size, a couple ounces.
They're giving you 6 to 8 ounces. Yeah,
full of these sample cups. So we were getting pretty well and done. And good guy Jace ended up setting us up with his air mattress. So we just ended up crashing there. And my wife was super. I could tell she was super pissed that night.
She pissed at me. Pissed at him too. I'm sure.
Yeah, she was mad at everybody.
But I was like, guess what? You guys have to sleep here. I'm like, you guys are drunk. You guys may be coming down off it, but it is Saturday night at 11:30 in the at night or whatever. There are DUI checkpoints, and it's just too fucking bad. I'm not gonna let you guys leave. I'll be that asshole. And so,
there's no way I could have drove that night. There was no way.
I guess she was really mad at me. I'm like, well, that's what happened.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, so I was I didn't even remember. I fell asleep on Sauce's couch, and I didn't remember that. Falling asleep.
We both did, by the way.
Oh,
I was the TV on. I was like, whatever. So I went in the office and I was just watching YouTube videos. I let you guys sleep on the couch for 45 minutes, and then finally you guys came to. I'm like, all right, here's the bed set up.
Oh man. But so I ended up waking up. But she was over in the morning, just because she knew we were too drunk to even drive. So it was a good deal because I didn't want to get DUI or any stupid things like that. Do stupid things. But other than that, just been fucking just hanging out. I've been playing more of that Chivalry game, which has been a lot of fun.
Whoop, whoop.
But I haven't played any new games. I've been trying to get back into my digital combat simulators, which is the DCS World. They're coming out with some new version of this. It's flight simulators.
We're trying to get you back into Magic.
And
do you remember back when we were I don't even know, 10 years old, we used to play, the fucking flight simulator, and we would pretend, you would be the captain, and then I would be, in the back, and then we'd pretend we'd get shot down, so we'd have to, parachute out.
Yeah, you'd be my Rio. we was playing, I remember that was Jane's F-22 or something like that back on DOS.
Yeah, that was
back on DOS.
Cool shit, dude.
Or something like that, yeah, it's Jane something, but there's the new ones are fucking, all these new flight sims,
it was super boring, too, nobody ever, attacked.
Yeah, dude, you literally
just fly.
I think we were, we didn't know, because we were 10, so I didn't know how to fucking play these games. Start these, I think we were just, doing free flight the whole time, there was all, missions or something like that, with actual, enemies, we were just we're flying this motherfucker!
You couldn't figure that out at 10? That's not good.
That's probably my biggest memory of hanging out with you. It was just oh man, plane's going down, go, go, go!
we were idiots. So we might have been a little younger than that, but
probably.
But yeah, but I've been getting into the DCS A10 again, and it's like they call it a study sim. Essentially, you have to read a 160-page manual just to even start the plane.
Why do you enjoy this?
Shit, dude.
It's literally a 1-to-1. Like, I could probably get into an A10 and like, I think they leave out like 1 or 2 sequences, but I could probably get the engine started on one.
It is the Kerbal of planes.
Yeah, I mean they have a bunch of different ones too. It's definitely a niche genre for very special people, and I am very special. So.
I'm glad you gave a minute.
My mother tells me every day.
He's one of those guys that like films the trains driving on the track, whatever. And he's like freaking out. You see those videos?
Yes,
and holding the handy cam. He's like, "It's a something. Woo! Yeah, blow that horn. Yeah." And it's like just going by like 3 miles an hour, and they're just like humming in their pants. You know what? Though? To each their own. Whatever.
Yeah. So that guy's like watching the trains, like they're out there, like, excited to watch them. But he's like standing near the tracks, watching the train come this way. But he's standing near the tracks where it goes the other direction, and so this train like literally like the front of it's going by like full speed, and it just like grazes his wind blazer, and like he's literally an inch away from getting his arm ripped off and like dying.
There's another one of those where it's like restoring humanity type fucking video where it's like, it's a bunch of compilation of a bunch of things that are like positive, or kind human acts or whatever. And they had that same kind of thing when he's standing in the tracks, but like he would have been hit. And some guy ended up just like grabbing the shit out of him and ripping him off the tracks like right before the train hit him.
Oh, the dude was like going to commit suicide and somebody like saved him, or
no. The guy's filming the train.
Oh, okay.
He's on the track, but like not like where he wasn't paying attention at all, but he would have been hit. And this guy saw it, he's like, hey. And the guy wasn't doing anything. He just grabbed his shirt, just ripped him up, pulled him towards him, and just ripped him off the tracks.
What if he wanted to die?
He would die doing what he loves.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, probably
stand in front of trains. I love that.
Probably how he would like a Spartan death, for him.
I brought honor to my family.
I'm going to Valhalla.
Yeah, the train halls of Valhalla.
Oh, crazy Uncle Ben.
I'm glad he's dead. Oh my god.
Yeah, no more train videos on Thanksgiving, thank God.
Yeah, no more of those like old the 35mm like slides of like trains.
Let me show you this train.
Old like train snuff videos.
Would you Kansas?
Women get run over by trains and shit.
You can't see a train video.
I wonder if that's on eFucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a very special person. That's what I get off on fucking reading manuals about how to fly planes, and like I watched a YouTube video, like a World War II YouTube video of like it's like one of the old training videos where like, hey Bob, we're going to be flying this such and such airplane today. Why don't you go get your helmet on?
It's like no treble or like bass.
It's like, really just.
It's like a stormtrooper.
Yeah, they're like, hey there, Bill, let's
It's like a two-way radio.
It's like the Fallout videos. They're spooks.
These are like,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, these are literally like 3-hour-long videos, and I'll sit there and watch like, all right, now Bill, go ahead and reach down there to that lever and click it one to the right, and that's going to turn on your fuel line. And I'm just like, oh yeah.
He's just slowly stroking himself. Slow, just like to the head, and then down to the base. Takes like a minute to get there.
And it's always enjoying himself. It's always like the young kids that are like they're teaching, and it's like, well, gee, what if I did this instead? And he's like, oh no, you don't want to do that one.
No, there, little Bobby. It's just a spooks jump to the right.
Spooks jump to the right. Oh my god! You're right though. The 50s train videos with the racist comedy, I get you.
Come on.
No, that was funny.
I didn't write it. It's just facts.
This is the shit I live for.
Part of media history.
It's just a spooks jump to the right. I picture what's that song from Rocky Horror Picture Show? It's just a jump to the left. Just mixing that with what you just said, though.
Whatever you do, Ryke, just don't crash into my house.
Oh well. I'm like, it's the shit I watch on YouTube, and that like fucking people just disassembling guns. I'm like, oh yeah, it's right up my alley.
I got a real question for you, quick though. Considering we live next to an airport, like really very closely to one that actually does pilot training, Have you actually thought about going down there and learning how to fly a plane?
Oh yeah, all the time, but they're not fucking jets, so they're stupid.
You can fly the Cessna, land on Knife's house.
Yeah.
Cessna plebs flying around like they're...
Come pick me up.
Like, I'm going to go around this airport.
They're going as fast as they can.
That's what they do, yeah. They're like, 75 mile per hour around an airport and then land again.
Here I come, I'm going to do a little touch and go, up, down, off again. No. Yeah, I mean, I looked into it, and it's expensive as fuck to get your private pilot's license. That's a lot.
How's it with, like, your vision? Does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have corrective lenses and stuff, you're fine. It's not, you probably...
Well, I know, like, jets and stuff,
do
corrective lenses don't matter. Yeah, like,
that's millions and millions of dollars for the Navy and Army and shit to do that, so they're not going to let you...
And it's expensive as fuck. Like, maybe if I was a little more well off, and like fucking owning people and land and stuff, then sure. Totally.
They could build you a plane.
Jump to the right.
They could build you a plane.
Yeah, they would just build me
the pyramids, dude.
The Ryke brothers plane. But that's pretty much
woolly mammoths to build the pyramids. You know that?
Oh, they did. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And aliens helped anti-gravitational devices.
Mm-hmm.
I read it on the internet. It's real.
You watched that hour YouTube video about it.
Yeah. But not just my week. Just not been doing too much.
So speaking of Ryke being drunk, today I got a wild hair up my ass about trying to find a specific song I had made back in high school or whatever. I used to make stupid little hip hop songs and shit. So I went through my garage looking for my old computer tower. Finally found it, set it all up with my shitty big fucking monitor.
Yes,
actually right where we are right now.
Well, it's got a 15-pin connector. What are you going to do? You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
No HDMI. No DCI, whatever.
So I fucking...
DVI.
There it is.
My bad.
I fucking hooked it up, and it's slow as fucking shit. Windows XP, just probably full of Trojans and all fucking sorts of shit.
All that porn.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was looking through some of my old files, and I had these random videos from my old shitty flip phone. And so I was looking through them, and there's one of Ryke drunk off of his ass at Hot Sauce's house. And this was, I think, so I had 12 days clean at the time. So it was back in May of 2009.
Which house is this?
Grandpa's
house. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's really grainy and dark, and it's just a really shitty fucking quality video. But he's just saying the dumbest shit, like he drank too much, and I'm just egging him on. Come on, dude, you should drink more.
Your friend,
yeah, exactly. And
you should put the sound of this, of the video, just play it on the cast.
Have the outro
right now.
I feel great. No, that's stupid. I hear.
How many shots of beer did you take?
Almost too many.
Actually, I was gonna put the outro of the fucking song, as the fucking song I was looking for as the outro, because it's a song I'd made for Day of Defeat, a little stupid Day of Defeat song. And it's funny because I've only made I've played World of Warcraft. I play a bunch of online games, and when you play a game for a while, sometimes you make internet friends, but it's not people you're ever gonna stay in contact with. Well, this one guy who fucking always used to play Day of Defeat with me, he comes on Steam all the time, so every once in a while we'll chat, and that's been since 2004, so 10 plus years. I've just been fucking talking to this guy. It's that crazy Canadian guy I was talking about. Remember he thought everyone was killing everybody down here?
Oh, you mentioned
yeah. So it's that fucking same guy. And it's just weird that I was looking for that song, and then I found fucking Ryke's video, and then he was just talking to me on Steam as we were starting the podcast. So and that's how I got my name Knifecity, is because we used to go around fucking knifing people. But anyway, so I'll splice in some of the Ryke drunkenness. It was great. And what the fuck was I doing at a party with 12 days clean? What fucking stupid shit was I doing?
Testing your metal right there.
I think I was I shared about it at a meeting after that, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, it's not a great idea.
Probably not the road to recovery.
Yeah. I didn't hang out with you guys for a year after that.
You drunk asshole. I'm trying to be clean here.
Yeah. So shout out to Anger, my DOD buddy. But another big news today, I had my second interview, and I got a job today.
Yes.
So, woohoo! They're going to be pretty flexible with my school schedule. It's a trucking warehouse type of fucking company, so going to be working in the warehouse. And, fucking stoked for it.
So you're going to be like a warehouse worker as far as like, you can do like forklift stuff?
Forklift, and he said like there's a bunch of different shit to do in there, so like wherever I kind of like fit in and find my specialty, you know, they'll fucking move me there.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
Whether it's doing forklifts or actual like computer program inventory barcode bullshit, you know.
Whatever. Get yourself on that. Save some fucking physical labor.
Yeah, I know, right? Well,
no, forklift.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's a lot of labor.
But
the hand going back and
when it comes to forklift, though, that means you're also going to be helping unload and load pallets besides the forklift. You know, you're not going to stand for it all day.
So, pretty stoked about that. And then you'll find out in a little bit why that kind of sucks also. That I just got a job. But my other story I want to tell. So last night, I wanted to have the cast over for some Magic because my girlfriend was having some of her friends over, and I figure we can just play Magic in the garage and whatever. So Hot Sauce was the only one able to make it over to play.
Yeah, I had my interview, like right when you said people would come over, basically, and then when I got home, my wife actually started working with her for her uncle recently last week. Literally just a couple days ago. And he's like paying like $100 a day. It's then like she hasn't actually brought money into the house for a long time because that was our plan though. Was I'm going to work, she's going to take care of the kid.
Right.
Well, her uncle had an opportunity to make $100 a day, so she's been doing that. When I got back home from the interview, I was hoping to come over here. Well, all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I have to go over and help him unload this and blah blah blah." I'm like, fuck! I wanted to go hang out, and then she didn't come back for like an hour and a half, and then like called you, say, "Can I still come over?" Like, no, it's too late now. Oh man, I wanted to be here. Trust me.
My excuse that I didn't come last night is I fucking hate you guys.
We know.
We know. You too, dude. Don't worry about it.
So anyways, Hot Sauce came over and we were playing some games and had to meet my girlfriend's new friends, and one of her friends brought her sweet little 2-year-old daughter over to the house, and she was playing with the dogs and just having a good old time. Anyway, so we're like locked away.
You kept Hot Sauce away from her, right?
Yeah, of course. But
she actually gave me a hug.
Oh no,
dude, this is 50.
I'm from the back.
This is episode 50 to 100. We need new shticks.
We said no more. We said no more dog dicks. We didn't say we got pedophilia.
So, anyways, we're like closed off in the garage, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just like comes into the garage. And we're like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, we got our play mats and our expensive tiny leaders decks, and there's like a Gatorade bottle and dice and stuff.
It's a lot of fun things to play with.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like coming over like, hey, what's this? Picking up the dice, like, oh, I'm going to take that. And we're like, oh, just trying to be like nice. And then she comes right over to my side of the table, and before I could do anything, she picks up my leader, Alicia, and just bends her in half.
Like hard bend, not like a full. Like he just gets it and just like whop and just smashes it on the table. And we were both
this tranny.
We were both just looking at each other.
Get the fuck out!
Like there was definitely like panic in both of our faces. Like this is unprecedented. Like,
what do I do? Slap her?
And then Hot Sauce was
what
like,
do I do? Rubber nose in it?
Hot Sauce was like, looked at me and he's like, I don't know how to handle children. Like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
I just wanted to leave, but I gotta be nice. I have no idea.
I don't even know how to tie him up. What the hell do I do?
Oh my god. It was like so... I thought it was fucking hilarious.
It was actually funny. Plus, it wasn't like it's not a foil one or anything. It was like it wasn't an expensive card, but
it was like what the most like $5 if that. It's like what?
Not even that.
Yeah.
Like even if I bought it when it was at $5, like still it's just.
But at least it wasn't like fucking Glimpse the Unthinkable or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. So
That's awesome.
it was so quick too. Like her quick little hands were just like, oh, what's this? Bam! Like right in half. And so I like grabbed it from her and tried to like flatten it out real fast, like it didn't happen. There's obviously
there's a pretty good crease there.
Yeah, it's
kids do the darndest things, don't they?
She'd like grab our dice, and she'd grab one D20 and be like, "What is this?" And we're like, "Oh, that's a dice. It's got numbers on it." And she'd grab the next one. What's this? And she'd grab the next one. What's this? She's like looking at all the D20s, like, "What is this one though?" We're like, oh my god,
this one's different.
And then she grabbed like some D6s, and then she grabbed it, and then she like left, and then she came back in with not having them in her hand.
Of course not.
And then she's like, whoa, I want more. And we're like, whoa, what the hell? You just have like 3 of them. Where the hell? Go get those ones. She's like, no, I don't want to. And then she like grab it. I'm like, oh my god, this fucking kid.
And then so she almost knocked over Hot Sauce's Gatorade onto our play mats, and that's when I was like, all right, it's time to go, and then I'm going to lock the door.
No, she did. We had like all the stuff set up, like the vape and the Gatorade and all this stuff, and the dice were just like behind that, like more to the middle of the table, and she just puts both her hands to the table, like just bursting through everything to get to the
and
dice.
then just like widens.
And just widens it. So the Gatorade bottle, the cap wasn't on. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I wasn't, once again, you just don't expect it because they're just quick. They don't like evaluate anything. They just like, go up there, what's that, ma'am? So I'm like, oh, Jesus, there's shit everywhere.
That's why it's funny with my son, like, I anticipate his movements and his actions very well. Like, I know as a little boy, he's getting ready to throw that. Like, he's pick it up like, it's a ball, or it's this, or he gets that look in his eye. Like,
or it's a phone.
And a little evil glint that comes from me. Like, I'm like, I know that fucking look. I know what he's thinking. So I know he's going to throw something. Like, my wife, like, doesn't anticipate that's what's going to happen for whatever reason, even though she's been around his whole life, like, doesn't see it's going to happen. Right. And, like, she'll get hit in the face with something. Whatever. Like, the day he took his diaper off and was like, he had peed his diaper several times during, so it was a full diaper, he wanted to take it off. And he happened to be in bed with his grandma, and, he takes the diaper off and he's standing there on the bed, and then without like anything, my face is close to him, maybe like 2 feet away. He takes the diaper and like chucks it at me. But I see he's like doing this, and he has like this little smirk on his face. I'm like, this little fucker's gonna throw his diaper at me. And so like, if it was my wife, she would have got hit in the face with the pee-pee diaper. Me, I dodged it, but that's like one of those things. You don't know kids though, like her walking in, already having that Gatorade bottle closed is on you. Well, you should remember that for next time because it's gonna go bad next time.
It's also like different kids, like, even if they're like 2 and curious, like, like my niece was like super like respectful and kind of like shy, so she wouldn't go up and just start grabbing shit,
Well,
she'd come up and talk to you.
Kids are kids, different ones.
But it was really funny. And she was like super cute kid and just, having a good time. So like, we weren't like pissed, like I wasn't pissed or angry. And my girlfriend was like, when I told her about it, she was like, wow, I'm surprised you didn't get mad. I'm like, I'm not gonna get mad at a sweet little girl over magic cards. Like,
she doesn't know.
Yeah. I mean, in my head,
get mad at her mom for letting her come out here.
Yeah, exactly. In my head, I would have been like, you bitch, no.
How young is too young to start medicating them? So yeah. That's what I want to know.
Just fucking NyQuil or something.
Exactly. Just throw a Valium and just like leave them there for a little while.
So I've been like laughing about that ever since last night. Like multiple times, I'm just like sitting there, and then I think it's especially the look on Hot Sauce's face was just like of pure like disbelief of the situation.
Your look was my look. Like, my look was your look. It's the same look. You just want to see your own face. We're both. Oh.
So that's been it for. Well, I'm going to transition out of my intro
into Magic Talk,
which is kind of an extension of my intro, because a couple days ago, I sold out of MTGO.
Gasp!
I fucking cashed the fuck out.
Did you like sell like anything worth anything? Like every like even uncommon that could just be worth 3 cents?
I sold, pretty much everything. I kept a Jace the Mind Sculptor from the vault 20. I kept all my tiny leader specs, which hopefully they legalize it. And then I kept like some of the Theros and Born of the Gods because they're like at an all-time low right now, so they're barely gonna give me shit for them.
And like, gods are fucking cool. Like, there's some good things with those.
Yeah, they're super cheap, and it's like, what am I going to get? Like $1 for each one? So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to hang on to them. Like, it's not like they can go any lower. It's only, what are they going to go down 50 cents? Oh no. So anyways, I kept that. So, but it was like a month or two ago. This guy on Twitter, I think his name is Speedy or fucking something like that. He actually hosts a Hearthstone podcast, the 1600 Dust, I believe.
1600 Dust, yeah.
Yeah, so check those guys out if you're into Hearthstone.
I don't know why you would be, but
agreed.
So, I think, was he in Vegas? Anyways, he's a good guy.
He was in Vegas, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So, a month or two ago, he posted online that he had cashed out of MTGO, and he was like, oh my god, I didn't realize, like, how much money I had tied up in it, and he was, like, super stoked to be out. But he's one of those people who's like, fuck MTGO, all the fucking bugs and issues and all this stuff. And there's a lot of people out there who cashed out because they don't want to give Wizards of the Coast any more money for putting out a subpar product, which is Magic Online.
Makes sense.
At the same time, though, Magic is Magic, and it's addicting for a reason because it's the best strategy game out there.
Right, but it's like you're rewarding them for what they're doing with the money you spend on the product.
Oh, I understand it completely. I get what you're saying. I don't think it's wrong of him to cash out for that reason. That's fine. I get it. It's just like for me, like I couldn't do that unless it came like a situation that you're in where I absolutely had to because I love Magic and I just want to play it. And if I got rid of that shit, like I know like. That means I'm not getting back into it on NTGO for a long time, if ever.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't even have that big of a collection by comparison or anything like that. Right. It's just, I don't want to have to do that.
Right. So, I mean, granted, I do think a lot of aspects of Magic Online suck. Like, it still looks like this dumb chess game I used to play in the 90s. Like, I don't expect NTGO to be, like, fancy or anything. But
they have like the greatest noises for their fucking actions, like old 90s, like I'm playing fucking DOS right now.
Yeah, what's this fucking ICQ chat? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? So, I cashed out because I haven't had a job for like 2 months now, or maybe more, and not only have I like ran out of all my savings, and my girlfriend's getting stressed out. She also has her wrist surgery on Monday, and she has to have like a $600 like copay basically for it, which I think like most of the bills will get like reimbursed, or maybe it was just the dog bite. Anyways, so regardless, like by Monday, like needs some money. Like she has money, but I want to contribute to it. So I was like. I've been thinking about it for a while, even before I lost my job, about cashing out. And so I figured that was the right thing to do. But I am like a collector. Like, I like collecting. Like, Hot Sauce does not like collecting. He likes building decks, and then as soon as he's done enjoying them, he fucking sells them off and buys new cards. Which, I mean, is smart because it's standard, so you don't want shit to drop.
Agreed.
Only exception, of course, is Eternal formats. That's a given, but I mean, still, like, Eternal formats, I'm not going to, like, sell off my fucking, whatever blue instant spell that's just going to be relevant forever, so why not?
I just like
I'm like very much like you, if not worse, as far as collecting. Like, that's a thing to me. Like, I used to buy, I was heavily into Pokemon, like, when the first game came in, first card game came out for that, TCG for Pokemon, and even still love Pokemon, all that jazz, but, like, that game was so much fun to me, and I love Pokemon so much that I would, like, work with my dad at landscaping from, like, 10 years old, like, on and whatnot, and all my money went to Pokemon booster packs and video games. And to the point where, like, my favorite Pokemon was Charizard, but that was the hardest card to fucking pull. So, like, I had every single card in the fucking set, and I still actually have the whole set in the closet somewhere, and except for Charizard. And so, like, I kept, like, buying packs and getting duplicates, never pulling Charizard. So finally I was like, Mom, can you help me out? There's a fucking Charizard, $50 in the display case. Can you please buy it for me? So she did.
Nice.
But, like, 2 weeks went by, and, like, I had such, like, an addiction to opening packs, which is the same thing with Magic now, that I was like, I haven't opened a booster in, like, forever. I used to open fucking, like, a shitload every week.
Jonesing for that booster.
And so, like, I bought, 3 weeks after getting this, finally, like, it's still in, like, the placard that I got it in. Like, I never took it out of there, never played with it. It's still in there. I have it. I know where that is for sure. That's in my fucking, like, one of my main spots where I keep
it's in your breast pocket right now.
No, it's a large, thick fucking, good, solid thing. But, so I bought, like, 3 packs, like, 2 weeks later. And, of course, I pull a Charizard then.
Of course.
So, like, okay, well. So now I have 2, which you guys have seen that's in my trade binder. It's not going to be traded. It's just there for Pokemon cards. But.
Just there to let everybody know.
Collection-wise, I love collecting, so, like, I can't imagine selling everything off like that. It's one thing because it's on digital, so it's not as much as
it's
paper.
It's not real, man. It's not real.
Oh, man. Like, fuck.
I had, like...
It's even worse than paper cardboard.
I had, like,
digital.
3 or 4 or 5, like, decent Commander decks. I had the Modern Mill. I had a sweet fucking Pauper deck. And I just had a plethora of cards. And, if I do pull a card, I pulled some fucking card during pre-release, and I'll usually, like, sell those, like, right away. Like, price is gonna go down, fucking sell it off. But, like, Hot Sauce was saying, if it's Eternal staple or it's Eternal playable or something I'm interested in, I'll just hang on to it and not really care what the price does. But I ended up selling it off, and then 2 days later, I got a job.
That's how the universe works, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
One door opens, another door shuts.
Yeah.
Then you probably have a ghost.
So I'm still in my mind, like, it was the right thing to do. Like, prove to my girlfriend that she's more important than magic, despite what she fucking thinks, all the goddamn time.
Well, it's not the truth, but yeah.
She can think that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's helpful that, the facade is there now.
It's more believable that way.
Right. So it's a little sad, but I'm gonna eventually buy back into it. Maybe just like drafting at first.
Didn't Jay Boosh, didn't he sell his cards a couple months ago? All his paper cards? Didn't he cash out? Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh yeah, one of the dudes with heavy metal related had to sell all shit because he lost his job.
I think it was Jay Boosh. I think he was the construction worker guy. I think
he sold his whole paper collection.
So I think he got $2,000 or whatever for
Oh, he's 18.
18, yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying same.
Maybe. I know he has
I'm
a
pretty
cube.
sure that's who it was. So yeah.
But anyways, I forgot to mention real quick, since we're still kind of in my intro, check out if you're on Steam, and I don't know why you wouldn't be on Steam. Check out March of War, which is a really cool turn-based military action point type of game. I hate those type of games. What do they call them? Not dungeon crawlers, but turn-based.
Well, real-time strategies?
No.
Like a Fire Emblem? It's a turn-based
strategy.
When I think turn-based, I think Pokemon. But that's turn-based RPG. This is
turn-based,
each unit has a number of action points it can use in that turn.
I was saying it's like XCOM.
It's kind of
XCOM or Fire Emblem is the same situation. Yeah. And I love that kind of game personally. It's like a super fancy video game style chess, where your particular people have different abilities and things like that. I love that kind of game.
Risk.
I was thinking the gameplay was
Command and Conquer.
It's like Command and Conquer, the very first one. Command and Conquer, where a lot of the Command and Conquer, the first one didn't have the bases. Of course the bases were the biggest part, but some of the missions, they just gave you a squad, and you got that squad, and you just continued out your mission, and that's all you did. You didn't have to build a base in some of them, so it kind of feels like that, but it's not real-time strategy, it's turn-based strategy, so you're able to have your... Command and Conquer had where you would make 5 troops and they would be in one little square. And so when you move those troops, you'd move all 5. And that's exactly what this one is, where all the troops are in one square and they're one unit basically. And then you have your tanks and helicopters and whatever else. And then, once it's your turn, you get the same thing where you can take half the distance will count for half the turn. And if you go the full distance, then you can't shoot. You know what I mean? It's XCOM.
Oh, Sid Meier's Gettysburg.
Yeah, that.
Gettysburg, of course.
I didn't play that. I like Sid Meier's Civilization games, but I haven't played Gettysburg, so I don't know.
I still have to check that out.
I haven't played it. I just
you just made it up. I don't even know.
But I usually hate those turn-based games. I tried Divinity Original Sin, which is a really fucking good type of that type of game. It won Game of the Year or whatever. But it was just too much,
too
in depth, and I didn't feel getting into it. But if you're if you want to read the 160-page manual type of thing. No, it's not that bad. But I'm just saying there's a lot to remember, and I didn't feel March of War is way simpler. You just deploy, and then you upgrade, and then attack, and move, and that's it. With Divinity Original Sin, it's that. But then there's
character classes and
character classes, and then you can a million different abilities and
I love that.
Intellect, strength, all that stuff you can level up. And
I didn't even know about this Divinity game, but I'm gonna check it out now because
definitely check it out.
You guys never played Fire Emblem?
No.
That was it's such a good fucking series. They're still making games for that's back from forever ago into the Wii.
Isn't that
and
on
GameCube
DS and all that shit?
Well, that's the newer version. There's a Game Boy version. There's DS version, there's GameCube version, there's fucking a Wii version, and it's all a same, it's a storyline, it's the same world always, but it's always continuing in time, so different different kingdoms are in the are now running the world, or now become the bad guys, or this storyline you play as this lizard type people. This storyline you play as fucking
Panda bears.
and no, it's it's humans and some lizard folk and some other things and whatnot, but it's not panda bears.
It's kind of like Shining Force on the Genesis.
I don't know that game.
There's all the references.
You know what?
Obscure city right now. Damn, son.
But Fire Emblem is just a good fucking game. I mean, you guys have played Smash Bros. Fucking that dude's, Marth. He's from Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Blue clothes, the sword.
Kinda.
Whatever. Marth.
He's like that anime-looking character.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Big sword?
Yeah.
Has a gun?
You know what?
No,
Shut up. You're just throwing shit out there.
I don't even know. More obscure shit. I was going to say one thing about
He's the guy with the legs, right? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, does he have ears? Yeah, that's him.
Oh, the eyebrow guy. I know that guy.
So when I was in 7th grade, I used to bring in the owner's manual or player's guide or whatever you want to call it for Mech Commander. You guys remember Mech Commander?
Oh my god.
It's like Mech Warrior's version it's a real-time strategy of Mech Warrior. And so I bought the game for it was like $20 or something like that at whatever the game store. I never really I played Mech Warrior, but I never played this. But I'm like, oh, it's cool, same universe. So the guide is like this full, glossy, full color, beautiful 100-page book, and it has all the specs for each unit and how to what weapons you can have for each one and how ways to play it and all this stuff. And I used to read that in silent reading. I swear to God, I'd have you'd have everyone with their books, whatever, and I would have a book-sized owner's manual that I would just read, and it'd just say Mech Commander on the front, and the teacher would never fucking know.
Those were the fucking days. I swear to God, when games you bought physical games and they actually came with a true to God fucking manual.
True to God.
I fucking hate that Xbox games don't come with anything. They come with a little leaflet that's
go to those websites.
That's an advertisement for another game.
It feels like you're buying a $5 DVD at Walmart where you open it up, it's just so nothing to it. It's oh my God, or whatever.
It says go to xbox.com/manuals, and that's what it is. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I want the physical shit in my hand. I want, for RBI Baseball 3, this is a weird reference, RBI Baseball 3 for the NES came with this big fucking leaflet manual thing, and it had the stats of every fucking player, and the stats didn't even matter. I'm sure it, what made the dude, minutely better, but, you couldn't, upgrade him. It was fucking simple shit. But it gave, the stats and everything and, descriptions.
Dude, it's good bathroom read. That's it.
Yeah.
I agree. For the most part, I never, actually looked through them. Really, I flipped through, first time to open the book. That's the first thing I do when I open a game was flip through the little book real quick. And I never actually, used them. I always just learned the game on my own. I never actually, looked, oh, this is what I do here. I press this button to do this. No, I just play and figure it out because it only takes so long to do that. But it was, agreed, it was nice to have it there. It was that was back when you were I didn't sell to GameStop and do things like that, so, get money because they always just rip you off and it just feels bad to put a game back in there and get 50 cents for it. It's whatever, fuck you, I'd rather have it and maybe play it 2 years down the road. But it's just felt good to have it there, and it felt incomplete without a fucking game manual in there.
Right. There's this one game I have to say.
More obscure shit. Go on.
No, it's another flight sim back in the day. It was literally, it's Windows 95 era or something like that. It's called Falcon 4, and they actually gave you a 3-ring binder manual. It was amazing. I wish I had it still.
Nice. Damn. Those are the days. And you know what? Now I'm so happy to never have a disc again. Where I'm in a scenario of Kelly, my girlfriend's hey, for your birthday, you want Halo 5, right? Because it comes out on 3 days before my birthday. And I was that's perfect. And she's well, do you want it on the disc? And I'm oh yeah, I don't want it on the disc. I want it digitally. She's well, what do you want me to do? Just give you money and then you just buy it?
Yes.
And I'm yeah, just don't ignore video games because I don't want a disc. I just don't want discs anymore. I want to have them all digital on the hard drive and so I can just pick up a controller and be lazy, and if I want to change games, I just hit a button and it change games. So that's the new age. I just feels good. So to go from Netflix, pause the movie or whatever, pause the TV show, go to your game, then she comes in the room and I just hit a button and it goes over to Netflix and I hit play and it's a fucking 15-second transition.
Nice.
It's amazing, so to go back and forth from all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm well, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want the disc, so you can't buy it from me.
Where are you going to put all those boxes at, man?
I know,
dude. You can't throw them away.
Dude, okay, Ryke still has
I do have boxes.
The boxes from all his PC games above his computer. He still has a stack of or I should say a row of 16 games.
I had a box, an actual big moving cardboard box full of still the True to God fucking PC game boxes.
Empty game
boxes. I Diablo 2's box still.
I got that too.
Some other games, the original Fallouts.
Dude, I had the old school Windows 95 game boxes. probably up until I was like, I don't even know, like 18 or something, to where I was like, okay, I finally just gotta like throw these away. Like, I'll keep the manuals, but throw away the fucking boxes. No, they're so pointless.
I still have them all. I have the original Max Payne box still.
It's art, dude. It's art.
Yeah.
Modern art.
Even the ones that had like the little, like back when they had like the little front cover that you can flip open because you can get more fucking, more pictures on the front of it or whatever. I love it.
Did you ever play Fallout Tactics?
Yeah. I played all the Fallout Tactics. I like Fallout Tactics.
That sounds fun.
I played all the Fallout games, sorry.
I never actually played that, but I think maybe a year or two ago now, I saw like a combo pack of Fallout 1, 2, and Fallout Tactics for the PC for like $5-10 maybe, and so I bought it. I haven't played it yet. It's a good game. But I was like,
it's not, if you play through Fallout 1 and 2, the gameplay is kind of similar, but it's a completely different game. It's not like the first 1 and 2. That's my only problem with it. It was like, I was ready for like Fallout 3 and then Fallout Tactics came out. And it wasn't Fallout 3, so I was disappointed in that.
But honestly, when I bought it, like to play those like possibly at some point, but mostly I wanted to play Fallout Tactics at some point because it seems like that turn-based type of strategy game like that is exactly my kind of fucking my bag.
Yeah. So, allegedly, about a week ago or so, I had downloaded all the Fallout packages. Allegedly.
Not illegally, just download it off the internet without paying a price. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
But not illegally. Though.
But not confirmed. So
you didn't share with anybody. You're good.
Although my IP address is.
Right. So I would really want to play Tactics. That's really the only reason I downloaded it. I was like, well, I might as well download the rest, And I played Tactics, and it's fucking hard.
Yeah, it's not easy.
They do the little tutorial, and I'm like, all right, this seems pretty cool. And then the first level is I just keep fucking dying. I'm like,
the game was the first level.
Yeah,
God damn, that must be a hard game.
It's ridiculous.
Well, this is back when they made games actual fucking games. You get punished for.
Right, we were talking about that yesterday about how there are modern gamers and there are the true gamers that are looking for punishment, and they're few and far between. But the PC gamer of 10 years ago, whatever. That's a serious gamer right there.
People playing Myst. They wanted to punish themselves.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it.
or games that don't.
You'll play Zork.
Oh yeah, Zork. Do you remember that?
Oh, dude, I
fucking text-based strategy game, or text-based exploration game.
I had a
turn north. You it reads out in text and DOS. You see at your feet a key.
It's like King's Quest.
Pick up key. You have picked up the key.
D&D on the computer to play solo.
I love this game. The graphics are so good. There's 3 different colors of text.
Yeah, did you see that font? Oh my god.
You went so outside the box of that one. That was risky going that kind of font.
What's it called again?
It's Enter Zork or something. Zork.
Zork.
There's 3 of them.
Not the gatekeeper.
There's a game called I'll think of it.
Jesus.
It's you're a space janitor. And I played it for an hour, and I got stuck and I quit forever.
It's like Iron Bread. You're a piece of bread.
It's called Planetfall.
There is no bread, only Zork.
It's funny.
Only clean out space puke.
Yeah.
Space
it's one of those games that's if you get to a spot, you get fucked, if you don't know what to do, it'll get go north through this door, and it's you fell into a hole. Oh fuck, you gotta start all over again.
Okay, so I hate to go on this super random tangent that nobody gives a shit about, but remember that game on the Sega that you could it was a space game, and then it was Pac-Man style, to where when you went through the right side, you came out on the left side, and you could pick different each spaceship had a different Star Control. Okay, I remember
there's
playing
a few
that.
of them.
I remember playing that a lot at your house. He had fucking Sega TV. Shit my pants when I fucking...
Yeah, dude.
I went over there one time, and you weren't home yet, so...
Your parents are paying $15 a month? Rich fucking family.
I know. So your mom was let me play in your room, and I was I'm playing fucking Sega TV. This is amazing.
Yeah, that was probably the greatest invention of the 90s.
Yeah. And it just
for a kid.
It never fucking took off either. It was weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about some fucking magic.
What's magic?
No, video games are fun. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Sega TV.
So, we're just going to talk about more spoilers because that's all there is to fucking talk about. Actually, just a little side note. During one of the last modern, GPs or fucking ICQs or what the fuck ever, Lantern Control fucking won, which is basically a shitty fucking mill deck. It's they win by mill, but it's the type of control and mill that I hate. Like it's
super like don't do anything, completely lock you out.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the top of your deck right now? You can look at the top card of the deck, it's like exposed, and you go, no, you're not drawing that to get out of this situation. Get rid of it. Okay, you're gonna draw that? No, get rid of that.
Yeah, it's basically like Jace the Mind Sculptor's Plus or whatever it was, where you look at the top card of the library and you can
put it on the bottom.
It's just Fate Sealing. There you go. So you're just doing that forever, making sure that like you can just buy all the time ever, rather than like the standard stuff where it's like fogs and board wipes and whatever else. Like, no, I'd just rather you just never have a
But
hand.
instead of the bottom, though, you put it in the graveyard.
It's fucking just, like, I lock you out of the game. I hate those decks. Like, I guess I'm just too fair of a fucking player. Like, I still play, like, counters and kill spells and all that shit, but just to lock somebody out of the game is just, it's just such a douchebag.
Well, that's like what Death and Taxes is all about.
Yeah.
And that, like, I get why it's viable, but man, why would you want to play that all the time?
I thought I was going to like Death and Taxes. When we first got into Magic and I was like looking at all the cards, I'm like, oh, dude, this is sweet. And then seeing it played, I'm like, no, that's awful. You're not, like, nothing's happening. Or like Soul Sisters, same thing. I'm like, oh my god, it's just like nothing.
Crazy shit's going on in Modern right now. Like, yeah, you said Lantern Control just won. Like a weekend before that, Slivers top 8'd.
Slivers in Modern?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, watching it on camera was like, well, that's fucking good. What's happening right now?
It's like
it's
an aggro deck. It's like nothing but like 1 and 2 drops, basically.
For the most part, but it does play Sliver Hive Lord, and then another one. I think it's like 3 or 4 mana, and it basically says like, all Slivers gain, sack this creature, destroy target permanent. Like, so you can just wasteland all their fucking lands away, get rid of all their permanents, whatever the fuck you want to do. It's like, oh my god. So it becomes like this merfolk style deck where it has Aether Vial. So because it's playing 5 colors, their Aether Vial is really how they're getting the bulk of things in. Like, so they're just, sneaking them in on end steps and doing things like that. And it's like watching the deck, it was very powerful what he was doing. It was like, god damn, those Slivers is in Modern right now. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, it's cool that,
It's good though. It's good that,
like shaken up, like on any given Friday Night Magic,
I have to give it that. That's kind of what we want to see is like not just seeing the same 5 decks over and over again.
It's always because they fucking banned Deathrite Shaman. Those fucking.
I know, son of a bitch.
I was very excited to watch Slivers instead of another Grixis Delver deck. Or Jund or whatever. Like it was good to see that. So it is weird as fuck to me to hear Slivers doing that well at a GP in Modern. It's like whether it's GP or SCG or whatever the fuck it was.
I'm on like Team Ryke right now. I'm kind of enjoying watching Zoo and like all the new stuff that's going on with that. There's like a couple add-in cards from like the newer sets or whatever.
Yeah, Zoo wasn't really doing too much.
Naya Zoo or just
like Naya Zoo, yeah.
And then after the bannings, like, it started gaining a little steam.
It seems fun. Seems like fair, fun.
Need to bring Bloodbraid Elf back.
Dude, honestly, I should have fucking had you bring it up. Patrick Chapin just built a new Modern deck, and with that deck, I think he went like 8-1-1 or for a while there, until like the second day things happened. But like it was incredible. Like all his entire deck, it's all based around Abbot of Carol Keep.
Okay.
And like that is like he's like making that become like the next like the best like the defining card of red. Where
it was
Delver.
It's all 1 and 2 drops. Yeah. There's not a 3 drop in the whole deck. It's all just shit you can like. I mean, you said it already, but it's all shit you can cast. So like when you hit a card, it's like, guess what? I get to cast that card every fucking time.
Like play like a 4 of this like
Taxing Pro
artifact that plays for 0, so you play it and you can sacrifice to look at the top card of your library, so okay, if I play Abbot of Carol Keep now, I get to play that.
No, top card of your opponent's library.
Either.
Oh, it is?
Either.
Oh, okay.
So you can look at theirs if you want to, but you can do yours.
Okay.
That plays with Abbot of Carol Keep as well, obviously.
Okay. But I've seen there was a lot of games I saw where you have like 2 Abbots out or whatever, and then you just like Abbot. You probe, and then they get you another probe, and then you probe again, and you're just like prowessing like crazy, and then you're just going off on all these 1 drops until you get your dudes up to like 7/6s, and then you attack in. Like it has a lot of that shit going on, and then it has Monster Swift Spear in it, right? I think too.
Yes, Monster Swift Spear, 2 Rancors.
Rancor.
I love me some Rancor.
Like it's a very interesting deck. And looking at it, it definitely has a legitimate chance of becoming a modern deck.
Yeah, no, it does.
You just said it didn't have any 3 drops.
What's that?
No. Swift Spear, not Mentor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just for a 1 drop and a 2 drop, the prowess guy.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's a modern prowess deck basically what's going on. That's the sub theme, and it's built around Abbot Carol Keep and then abusing his into the battlefield effect.
Alright, I need to buy this up then. This is my modern.
It's a very exciting. I mean, one of the games, the first time I showed him on the camera that I saw, like his game 1 like did not work out at all. Where he was trying to be super fast and go under people. It ended up being like his late game, and he tried to hold on for quite some time, then ended up losing. But then he won the next 2 games frames of the match to win the match. And the deck is definitely a thing that can be viable in Modern.
Nice.
So, check it out. Look it up for Abbott's like 8. It's gonna go up. Like I almost bought some. Like I have 2, I think. I almost bought the last 2 to complete my set, but then I don't really have money right now. So
what's Abbott at right now?
Last I saw it like 850.
Yeah.
I think
should have bought him at 2, whatever the hell he started off at.
Goblin Rabble Master, man, all over again. All right, so last time we left off on spoilers was September 10th was the last day we covered. So if you're looking on Mythic Spoiler at the newest spoilers.
Follow along with us.
Yay. Mythic Spoiler at mythicspoiler.com.
Let's not bounce around so much. Let's go from bottom up.
You shut your mouth.
I like to bounce.
And I don't.
Well.
So.
Someone's crying. They're bringing it back.
Transgender egress.
Fuck. This card. You guys are fucking me up. Did I say it right? Because it sounded weird in my head.
Mind.
Okay. So it's a one in a black sorcery, devoid. Target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a card from it with converted mana cost 3 or greater, and exile that card.
Great card. Probably some of the most like graphic fucking artwork on this card. Like it's fucking pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's like the fist is going like through the back of the head, out the mouth.
What's that like Indian dude in Indiana Jones where he like rips the heart out? It's like doing that, but through the back.
Kalima.
Yeah, that's what he's doing in the back of his fucking skull.
So I don't know. I think this card could see standard play at least.
If there's a lot of
going away.
Fatties.
Yeah, Thoughtseize is going away. But I mean, like, I don't know. From all we're seeing in this spoilers right now, there's a lot of 3 mana and up shit.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt people are going to find an aggro deck, but it looks like it's going to be 3 and up.
Yeah, you're going to hit something nice. Always.
Yep.
Unless it's the
and
land.
You know what? It hits Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino!
Sylvan Scrying, though, reprinted. I mean, there's a ton of weird colorless lands.
Did they reprint this at Uncommon? Was it a common before? Or has it always been Uncommon?
I don't know, but it's Uncommon now, so which good thing. So
basically, just search for land, put it in your hand.
Yeah.
And
what's good for that was like what was it, Tron?
It's definitely Tron plays it for sure.
Green Tron.
And it was, I think it was like a $4 or $5 uncommon, so now it's like down to $2 or something like that because, it's coming back. It's going to be like all over the place. People are going to buy the shit out of this set, so.
And March of the Tomb. I feel like we talked about
We talked about a couple of these.
Because that one
they were coming
came
out as we were doing the cast.
Right.
So the one we didn't talk about, though, was From Beyond. For green and 3, it's an enchantment, devoid. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature token on the battlefield that has sacked this, add 1 colorless to manage your mana pool. And it also has pay a green and 1, sacrifice From Beyond. Search your library for an Eldrazi card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library.
Do I smell a Tron card?
I think it's too slow for that.
But I play it.
But it is fucking, I think it's pretty good to sit there and just continue to get dudes so you can ramp up, and then once you have enough of them, go, okay, time to sack, and next turn I drop this fucker.
It's kind of like Dr. Spy Network in like flavor, or not in flavor, I'm sorry, and the card type, but the flavor is going toward, it's obviously not for that, it's just for like ramp, just consistent things, or things that like, we react with like if you control another colorless creature, or like how many creatures you have, there's a lot of interaction with this, and I mean, I will say for sure that limited, this will be amazing. I think it'll be really consistent, and you'll be able to, if you draft this.
But it's rare, though. It's rare.
It's rare, yeah.
So
but
can't talk about it.
If you get it,
then
don't. It enables a lot of things. So that's cool.
I think this can see constructed play.
I kind of think so too a little bit. I think it has a chance. There's nothing wrong with this card. I mean, I would choose this card over a 4 mana +1/+1 all creatures every day.
It's like you drop this on 4, and then you can just let it pump out shit until you're ready to sack them all and drop your big guy and play control in the meantime.
Yeah.
So I think this would fit into like a Sultai
control shell.
Sultai control Eldrazi shell.
You know what also I like is it's not having some stipulation of like, if you control another colorless creature, which is the Dr. Spy Network had like...
That's what I thought it was going to have, and then I read just at the beginning of your upkeep.
But the reason that Dr. Spy Network has to have that is because whenever an artifact does damage, you have to draw a card. Like, that's a pretty big bonus on top of it, so you better find a way to make sure you have artifact to enable it. So that's why that one's like that. But that's Dr. Spy Network isn't a bad card either. That's a legitimate enchantment.
Finally, a playable Phoenix.
Oh my god!
Said no one ever.
I've been waiting for Phoenix.
We talked about this one already.
Chandra's Phoenix.
Did we talk about this?
Yeah,
I feel like we talked about it by ourselves.
No, maybe. Either way, I'm fucking just angry at it. Why the fuck is this taking a mythic spot? Like
they always have one. That's because
but the last several sets have been rares. Most fucking Phoenix.
No, the last Phoenix
was a mythic, but that was horrible too.
So this is
why?
No, we don't need to talk about it. It does. It's a Phoenix with haste. Attacks each turn.
It's a 4-mana
ability
Phoenix
to come back.
for 3/3 flying haste.
Oh, you're talking too
Firebird. Attacks each, and it has to attack each turn if able, which is stupid too.
I hate that. I hate that kind of cards.
Stupid.
I think it's fine.
Stupid.
Instead of a 2/2 flying with haste for 3, it's a 3/3 for 4, and then your late game lands don't suck as bad because you can bring it back. I mean, it's not going to
pay 6 to bring it back.
I think simply it has to be mythic because it's too good and limited, and that's all it is. It's just too good and limited to have a card that can just keep coming back forever.
There's so many other cards at rare that are like better than that at mythic at fuck for limited situations.
But you can't have a card printed in rare that just keeps coming back forever in limited. It's just too easy to enable and then just too easy to just overpower. You can't just have like this card
champion comes back.
That is not the same thing.
I'm saying for that to the effect you're saying for it shouldn't be a rare as it comes back.
Well, you know what? That's a painful truth. Is the next card we're going to look at, which has Converge. You draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast Painful Truth.
This is actually not a bad Converge card.
I think it's a very bad card. Actually,
really? You think so?
Not a very bad card, but I think it's a bad card.
For at least 3 mana, you get 2 cards, probably at least.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I think it's.
It's in black, and that's what black wants to do.
Well, okay. How about this? Sign in Blood is a common.
If it wasn't sorcery,
Sign in Blood's a common. This is a rare slot for Sign in Blood.
Granted, you can do one more if you have all 3 colors to cast it and get 3 cards off of it.
That means you got to play 3 colors in limited, which you can find. Maybe that's probably gonna happen.
But this is rare. We're not talking about limited.
Rare.
But it's never going to see constructed play, no matter what. So that's the only thing we can talk about. Basically, it can't see play in constructed.
I don't think it will, but I mean, if you're playing like a 3-colored deck. Like, it's not gonna suck that bad to play it.
You're looking you got that Sphinx's tutelage out there.
Yeah, but it's not the best.
You know what it says? I think this is actually one of the better Converge cards. I'm not saying something.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I like this card is because it's the only Converge card that's worth a damn.
Well, there was a newer one that I liked.
The tutoring one is probably the best one.
No, I was thinking there's another one that came out too, or is coming out too, but we'll talk about that one.
Looks like there's a reprint of Dragon Master Outcast.
Yeah, it's
Human Shaman, which is actually, I think this needed to be reprinted because I think the original one is like $30 or something like that.
Seriously?
Or something. I don't think it was that much.
There's no way.
It was like 10 to 20.
It's like it's a commander card, yeah.
No, it's not. Well, it's a commander card, but it's not legendary.
It's not legendary, no. But I'm just saying it's a card that's played in
definitely.
Well, it's obviously great once you get that many lands and you keep dropping 5/5s, but there's no reason this card should be fucking $15. If it actually is.
People love dragons and red.
It does a lot. I mean, you gotta waste a removal spell, which there's no like spot removal in Commander, so.
Yeah, I don't know if this card is constructed playable. It'll probably be played, but I don't know. Doesn't look like there's that many good 1-drops so far that I've seen. Like, we haven't seen a lot of the uncommons yet.
This is not a 1-drop though.
Yeah,
that's the problem with it too. It's not a 1-drop.
You don't want to play this on 1. You want to play this on,
I'm saying
5, 6 or whatever, yeah.
Well, I mean, it can't be, if you see this late game, that's what you want it. But I mean, even in early game, it's still, something to play.
It's just for the fucking -4/-4 to the whole board. What's that spell called?
Languish.
With that in the format, like, that's always on my mind now, like, when I'm looking at these spoilers, is like, does Languish hit this? Yes, it does. Really bad.
But it doesn't hit the dragons. 5/5 dragons.
It doesn't hit the dragons, but I'm saying Languish you cast on 4.
Yeah.
This is 1, so you gotta play that game of like, should I cast it now? Should I wait till it gets removal out of his hand? Board wipe, that sort of thing. So.
Alright, back to the commander deck with you.
Crumble to Dust is a very interesting card. It looks like recently there's no land destruction cheaper than 4. 4 is the cheapest they're willing to go these days with land destruction. It's usually been
more than that.
Yeah, usually it's like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But
it used to be 3, and then they're like, yeah, this is dumb. We go to 4 now.
Yeah. So it's a sorcery. It has Devoid. And exile target non-basic land. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that land, and exile them. Then that player shuffles their library.
That sucks.
So,
I was hearing this is going to be. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. I was hearing it's going to be a sideboard card to get rid of certain decks that deal with lands as win conditions. So. That's about all I really
Target, what's that fucking land that brings like, the win condition for the lands deck?
The one that turned into a 2020?
Yeah.
That's not modern, though.
I know it's legacy,
but still.
This is too high cost to go into that, but it's just kind of interesting.
I do hear there's still other decks that are available that like rely on their lands doing stuff, so this could be a way out of that, which is nice. So
play this against Death and Taxes.
Ryke, why don't you go ahead and read this next one off?
Oh, yeah, the Noyandar Roll Shaper. That guy.
Because you didn't want to say the name, huh? So you made him read it.
No, I just wanted to get him to talk on the cast, but I would have fucked it up real bad.
I don't even know if I said Noyandar Royal Shaper. That is a great name. It is, oh my god.
It is a merfolk.
It is a merfolk. It's 5 mana, it's 3 colorless, white and a blue. It is a legendary creature, merfolk ally. It says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. If you do, that land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste that's still a land, and it is a 4/4 body. So it's pretty much Awaken on this guy with a, instant or sorcery spell.
So there's some bad things can happen, like, end hostilities or a languish kind of thing can really just fuck you up once you've activated your lands. But besides that fact, people are already talking about like making this into a commander kind of thing, which is one thing. But it's just kind of crazy to be able to play your spell and get this huge bonus of getting a 3/3 haster. That's
couldn't you put those 3/3 counters on the same land multiple times?
You just build one land
building
up.
It up. Yeah.
But this looks like the win condition for a blue-white control deck.
Oh yeah.
So you just control, shitty, counter, kill everything, bounce, control, and then you drop this guy when you have counter mana up and a counter spell in hand, and then you just continue. You drop it when you have 7 mana or 8 mana, and they have no cards in hand, and you're like, all right, I control this game from here on out.
I like this card because it's interesting and it's new. It's just like turning an ability that is. When you cast any instance or sorcery, which is pretty cool, it's not just instance or just some other thing. It's a lot of targets, and then it just turns lands into creatures. It's such a weird card.
Darksteel Citadel, here I come.
It's super cool.
Does this make Narset Transcendent viable? You're allowed to play little instance and sorceries and that?
It is if you get the non-land creature, or you get a non-creature spell, then you put it in your hand, right? Is that the +1 or whatever? Yeah.
And the rebound factor.
I like the card. I don't know where it's going to go necessarily. I kind of feel like that's a good idea, what you're saying.
I feel like this should be mythic, too.
I still feel
like a mythic.
Those kind of decks, I still feel like this thing should have some kind of extra protection blink, something that is usually in those kind of decks. So I do feel like that's a good place, because that totally makes sense, but at the same time, you play it, and then it might just die, where, say, the Ojutai Dragonlord would not die because it's hexproof, or Salumgar or Aetherling from previously, things like that. I'm that could be. This might not be able to fit, even though it does make sense. It's just that control needs an extra control. They need even if they don't have the counter, they need some other way to help them keep it on the board. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like Aetherling where it had the built-in protection. You just leave up 1 mana and you can flicker it in and out, or till end of turn. And it is a 4/4, so Languish can hit it. But I'm gonna brew with it, try to make a shitty white-blue control deck again.
I think it's a pretty cool card and has a lot of it's very interesting. My bet is it does not make constructed play. I bet you it does not. Obviously, we'll fringe brew it, but I bet you it does not become part of a main winning kind of deck. I just don't see it happening. There's a lot of cool things to it, but I don't know.
I think if you think about going towards the ally route, I think it's too high costed. I think ally is going to be faster than that. So this could be a one of in that, just to play with it and see what happens. But I think the allies will be capped at 4 mana. For the most part, so I feel like this is just too high. Or
you could just play a fucking Esper list and do your own Languish, and then drop this guy.
Whoop whoop,
boom,
Endless One.
Yeah, this is a simple but unusual card for being so simple. It's just a colorless card, Eldrazi, that you pay an X and you get X/1/1 counters on it like a damn Hydra. But it's a colorless Eldrazi. It's weird. It's just a weird card that'd be just so vanilla, but so good. It's so weird.
It's super simple, and it's a rare, which, I don't know, I think is weird.
I think it's a good card, though.
I do, too, because it's colorless. And whatever, it can go to any fucking deck and go late game, okay, now all of a sudden I have a 7/7.
Hangerback's better, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, it's got this potential that maybe we just don't know yet, about, like...
That with your hardened scales.
Hardened scales, something like that. I mean, it just could just be a little bit better than we think.
Which, the Mana Gorger hardened scale deck is becoming more of a thing now, so that's something that could slot into that.
Every time I have an idea, man, it just blows up. That's what happens, dude.
One of the, I don't know if he listens to the cast, but one of that loader guy, he has some podcast on MTG Cast. He was saying that it's tiny leaders playable, or he's like, hey, how about that for tiny leaders? And,
I'd play it in my deck, but I don't think any other decks would like it. I'd rather have the Hydra, to be honest.
I mean, I can make a shitload of mana with my Elves deck, but I'd rather pump that into fucking Overrun than this on a Zerg.
Yeah, I think maybe if it had like one ability, trample, maybe something a little extra to help it out.
Indestructible would have been nice.
But big vanilla bodies is not a big deal.
Too many good leaders for that to crack the fucking format with us.
Right.
So I wanted to talk about Dust Stalker.
I like this guy.
I really like this guy. I don't know if it's going to be playable necessarily, even though it reads like it should. I just don't know if like Rakdos will be like a thing. I mean, there's other cards that may be able to fit in this, but red and black are like just those colors that just never work together. They like so little constructed standard decks are actually red and black. I think Innistrad like had some stuff, but since then
Rakdos hasn't been very popular at all.
So, but the thing is, it's a haste 5-power creature for only 4 mana. So just like that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty sweet. And then at the beginning of each end step, if you control no other colorless creatures, you get to bring this thing back to your hand. So like it just is forever in your hand, just back and forth, forever with no interaction.
And that's not even necessarily like a drawback, because like the sorcery board wipes, it's going to go back to your hand if you don't have any other guys on board.
It's giving it pseudo dash.
It's kind of like dash. I think it's kind of cool. So
it's definitely Rakdos if there's any.
But like a Jund, Eldrazi deck might make an appearance. I don't know. I was thinking either Jund or Sultai for what I'm going to brew, and this could slot right into what Jund wants to do.
I don't know. It seems pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to see play. But
wait. What about that Sanctum of Ugin, though?
Yeah, you got to talk about that.
Talk about it.
So many fucking lands. Got some of these lands.
So many weird colorless lands and all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, so Sanctum of Ugin, it's a land, colorless land. Tap to add 1 colorless mana.
Well, all lands are colorless.
Well, this one's especially
extra colorless.
This is really colorless.
The void.
Whenever you cast a colorless spell with converted mana cost 7 or greater, you may sacrifice Sanctum Ugin. If you do, search your library for a colorless creature card and reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So, Warp Coil Engine for me, thank you. That's about it.
To search for? Because it doesn't work for sacrificing this.
Oh, just kidding.
Yep. 7 mana.
Land's bad.
Land's bad.
More like Karn right here.
Karn or something like that. I think it's.
Can't play him.
I don't know. I just don't know. Is it going to see play? I don't know. It's cool. I mean, it's a land that you can just tutor up a fucking big ass creature. That's dope. But I don't know.
Give me that 10/10.
If the large Eldrazi deck becomes a thing, possibly.
Yeah, I like it, but I just don't know. I don't know what 7 mana spell you want to cast to get something bigger. Like the 7 mana spell should already be like a big old powerhouse. So I don't know. It's interesting.
You cast the fucking Void Winnower or whatever the fuck that is. How much is that? 9 mana?
I don't even know.
I hate that fucking card.
Is that the odds and evens one?
Yeah, I hate that fucking card.
That's not.
And then you fucking cast fucking Ulamog.
Yeah, take that. So, Horribly Awry.
Yeah.
Next land next to it. Ally Encampment.
Go ahead and read it.
Ally Encampment, another rare land. Tapped to add a color.
Land of the Void.
First option, tap to add a colorless mana to your mana pool. Second option, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast an ally spell. Or pay 1 and tap it, sacrifice Ally Encampment, return target ally you control to its owner's hand. So, like, personally, as far as allies go, I have this, like, feeling of them having a similar feeling to Slivers. And that the sense that they're all working together, they all, do things with each other. Where Slivers is they all, like, gain each other's abilities. These are all, like, triggered abilities entering the battlefield for allies.
Well, this is definitely like a Sliver Hive.
That's what I'm saying.
Half the text is the same, so.
That's what I feel like. This is the ally Sliver Hive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're playing allies, I mean, why wouldn't you play this card?
What do you think about the effect at the bottom, the sacrifice and then return target ally you control? Is that cool to leave 2 mana open to just like bounce something back to your hand?
As far as you're wanting to enter the battlefield effects, that could be, with your double strike ally guy or whatever the fuck it is that he gives, or maybe you need to return the Lantern Scout, what the fuck his name is, where your whole team gets lifelink. I mean, I think it's a viable option. It's something that you're already using it because you're trying to allies, which means you're probably going to have several different colors, and you're trying to enter the battlefield effects. So yeah, I think that's a decent option as far as needing it to re-trigger because you didn't draw another one, or you want particular ally enter the battlefield effect to happen. So yeah, I think if for allies decks, why would you not play this as a 4/0?
Oh yeah, you'll play it as a 4/0 for sure. Yeah, 100%.
I think it's not a bad land at all for what it's trying to do, for what it's built for. I think it's a pretty good land.
Another thing, I don't think it's gonna be expensive. I think it's gonna be like $5 or something like that. So I think it's cool.
Well, people there's a subgenre of people who like slivers, and there's going to be allied players out there who like the tribal allies kind of situation. Like, yeah, this card's going to be sought after, but Sliver Hive Lord isn't super expensive, I don't believe.
Right.
And so it's going to be that kind of thing. It's going to be a few dollars, but it's not going to be fucking $25 at any point ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so here's we're going to get to the other card, but we'll wait for Knife to get back. But I wanted to talk about Woodland Wanderer.
I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like it.
I really like this card, and I think that people are going to be mixed feelings about this card forever, up until it sees standard play, because it will. So, it's a 4-mana card, elemental, it's a 2/2. 4-mana 2/2, not so great. Vigilance and Trample. Alright, getting a little better. It has Converge. When it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So it will, in Abzan, this thing will be a 5/5 Vigilance Trample.
Yeah.
So for 4 mana.
Some people are trying to say Siege Rhino 2.0.
No.
Agreed.
But this is going to be great up until better cards come out. I mean, this is a sweet card. I mean, it's just a big fucking dummy. And turn 4, that sounds great. Especially that you're going to be able to... they have that new elf guy we're going to talk about, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you can go ahead and use that elf to get 4 mana on turn 3, because that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So you get 4 mana on turn 3, and then you get to use the green that you spent to cast the elf, and then you get to cast any other color with the elf, and then hopefully you're playing another second color. You might be able to cast this thing with 4 different colors, because the elf might be able to cast a color, or produce a color mana that you're not even playing.
Yeah.
Just to help this thing get there. So I feel like a 4 of this and a 4 of that could already be a start to a deck that could be a 3 color or something or other. It's a great card. It's a great card.
I think it is too.
Vigilance and Trample is dope. Like on the same card, that's a dope card.
What I think is going to happen, at least with a deck, is Abzan, especially with losing Elspeth and their top end. Winged Rock is still there, but that's really only still there for the mirror matches that they play. So, Abzan aggro is still a fucking thing because now Hangerback slots in instead of fucking Fleecebane Lion. So this, you can just make your Abzan deck now into a top end of 4 essentially for the most part. Siege Rhino is a playset and a playset of this guy, and you're just aggroing him with this thing coming in as a 4/4, maybe a 5/5, whatever, with Vigilance and Trample, and you're dropping these guys in Siege Rhinos. I mean, that's a deck to do.
Yeah, Vigilance, okay, big body with Vigilance and Trample, those 3 things together, they're super rare. I feel to get all those things in one, and it's going to be a house. It's going to be a fucking absolute house, dude.
I think it's definitely going to see a lot of standard play.
I feel like if it didn't have Vigilance, this would not be that playable. It would be more like the uncommon level, kind of more like the Rocks Mauler type, card or something, which is a common, but it'd be more something along the lines of that. Because it's Vigilance, I think it's just best of both worlds. I don't know. It's just really good. It's a really, really good card, I think.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it because I think it's going to help out Abzan for sure. So, and I don't like Abzan at all, but this is a very good fucking card that's going to help that deck,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
It'd be nice if this was playable with, they still had Sylvan Caryatid, because then you could have that produce another color also, and make sure
that's the new, Cobra deal, the Cobra Elf.
Yeah. So at least we have that, which is good. So you can maybe, like I said, you can turn this thing for 4 different colors, and then you have a 6/6 Vigilance Trample for 4 mana. That's going to be a house. That's very playable.
So it looks like we have a cycle of common lands. They produce just one color. They're not like duals. And they each do something specific to their color, and I'm kind of impressed with them.
Yeah, they have these things, I think, in World Wake or something like that, the old ones.
Oh, a reprint?
No, not reprints, but the same type of thing.
Okay, I gotcha.
I had that one that, it's a red one, then it comes in, it enters battlefield tap, same thing, taps for 1 red mana, and then target creature, gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Teetering
Peaks, yeah. So I did have that in my Tiny Leaders deck. But that's a cool card. It's not like fantastic, but they're at common level, and they do like relevant things. I don't even want to talk about it.
I think one of the most exciting things about the Zendikar set is how many fucking lands we're getting.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible. Just the sheer amount from common to uncommon cycles to rare cycle. Like, there's just so many fucking lands. I'm happy about that personally.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And these are pretty sweet common lands. Like, if you're gonna draw these in fucking limited, and why would you not play them?
Oh yeah, definitely. So the white one gives +1/+1 in vigilance to a creature. The blue one, target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
Frost links on a land.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
The black one puts creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Red one, +1/+1, and first strike on a creature. And then the green one is... look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you do, reveal up to 1 basic land card from among them. Then put that card on top of your library and the rest on the bottom in any order.
So it's like a 4 scry. Or 5 scry.
Well, then they just go on the bottom, though.
Yeah.
But, so I want to talk about these cards a little bit and say that they are relevant, but opening hand, these cards suck.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have a creature to pump. You don't want to play your tap lands on turn 2 and turn 3, especially if they only produce 1 color mana. Like the blue one, it doesn't tap a creature and then it doesn't untap. It's like it has to be tapped already and then it won't untap.
No, it says tap target creature and opponent controls.
Yeah. No. Target creature and opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
Target creature... yeah.
So it doesn't tap anything. So that's not...
okay.
And that's not... You have to have things happening. So these cards are later game. Same thing with the black one. You get to put a target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. You need a creature card in the graveyard. So like same thing. It's opening hand. You're not going to have that. The red one is great because the red one, you're going to have creatures in turn 1 and 2. So you get to play this thing and give it +1/+1 at first strike. That's relevant. The green one, on the other hand, though, is opening hand ready, which means this card will see more play.
Yeah, you don't want to drop this on turn like 4 or 5. You want to drop this turn 1.
But at the same time, you're right, you don't. You want something better. But maybe getting getting an assured landfall trigger might be really relevant like game 2.
Yeah, that's true.
But I agree that it's the best one for opening hand. Then second would be the red one, and the other 3 are not good opening hand.
It also allows you to keep a less mana hand. You see this and only like 1 other land, you can keep that hand now because now
with
you
the
got...
green one?
Yeah. Because now you can look through 5 cards and go, I get to pick that land up, that last color I need right now. Because you're more than likely in the top 5 cards you're going to find a land.
Yeah. And make sure it's got to be
a basic land. Yeah.
It's got to be a basic though. So these are they're touch and go. I don't know. They're touch and go, but they're good. I mean, like it's a common land. That sounds great. A common land with abilities is always fantastic. But I'm not going to say they are fantastic because of they have stipulations. They just can't be played at all times and whatever else.
People were saying like the black one might be like a one of in the Abzan deck because
I think the black one would be absolutely
getting your Siege Rhino back is pretty
Den Protector.
Yeah, or Den Protector like that slots so well into the fucking Abzan that it's disgusting and I hate it.
Yeah, I think the red one will maybe see play. Maybe as like a 1 or 2. It probably has a 2 of. If it does, maybe they don't want to do that though because it comes in tap. But it might be relevant to get that extra little pump in the first strike or whatever. The green one I think will see play, but I don't know how much. And then the white and blue one I don't think they're going to see play at all. The blue one is the only one I'm like, no, that will not see play because it doesn't tap it. I just don't see this thing being that good. I just don't like the blue one. So.
What's up next?
Control-wise, it's still a possibility, man. That late game they just swung in with something. Now you get to lock that down, so you don't get hit for 2 more turns, or whatever. I mean, that's a I don't know.
Not 2 more turns.
Okay,
just 1 more turn.
You're right, but just that tempo play from a control deck may be a thing.
Yeah, it's fair. And then I guess in a blue deck, if it's opening hand, you just play it, and you don't get an effect, but like you're not going to have a turn 1 play anyway, so that part might not be so bad. But I still just think that these cards are good, but I don't think they are as exciting.
Rick, before we scry up and go farther, I want to talk about Horribly Awry.
Yes.
Yeah, we saved it for you, buddy.
I had to go pee-pee.
Oh, the pee-pees. The pee-poops.
So Horribly Awry. It's devoid, instant, 1 in a blue. Counter target creature spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of put it in the graveyard. I think it's been a while since we've had a 2 mana counter target creature spell.
No, there was one on Theros, but it was double blue.
Yeah, I think it's what more to mean is that it's
just like
having one that's a single blue, like a mana leak style thing. That's what makes it really relevant.
Essence Scatter we had in M14 was the counter-target creature spell. So we have Negate now, which is non-target creature. And this one's, I mean, I guess if you're looking for tempo early to mid-game, this is good for like a control deck. But you might as well just tear it up if it's late game.
So here's another thing I was thinking of. This thing is going to be very good, I think, first of all. I think that blue wants something to do on turn 2. The second thing is that this will help out with the ingest mechanic. Because it exiles that creature card, so you're getting that one thing, which a lot of these cards need to have a creature, or have a card in exile to trigger their enter the battlefield effect or whatever it may be. So this is just a good 2-mana way to, obviously you're like countering something, which is dope, but then you're also enabling, another like 15 cards in the set or whatever, 10 cards in the set. So that's more for like limited stuff, but I can talk about it because it's uncommon, so hey. So I think that if you're playing blue and you're drafting, like, you have to pick this up. You absolutely have to.
I actually heard people talking about this possibly maybe cracking Modern because it hits fucking every viable creature.
It definitely hits everything in Modern. I think it's good in Modern too. I totally agree.
You're hitting Young Pyro, you're hitting Tarmo, you're hitting Delver, and those are running rampant all over the place. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I heard people talking about it like on Twitter that it possibly could break into Modern.
I think so. I think absolutely.
And it's really weird. I don't know if we've already talked about them or we're going to talk about them, but there's like some early black creatures that have to do with putting a card from exile back in the library, and they have some sort of effect.
That's what I meant.
The processors.
Yeah. So the processors, but they're like 3 drops and 4 drops processors. So, like, this is going to be good to enable them to put a card back into the graveyard.
That is exactly what I said. You do this like every other cast.
He reads and then he doesn't listen to what you're saying.
I know.
Just says exactly what we just said.
I was just emphasizing the fact that this is going to go good.
You're cute.
So you guys know that mechanic where it's like you take something from exile and put it into the graveyard? That card
you're a handsome man.
Bowser! Sick!
Man.
Kill!
What do you guys feel about these, like, the cycle of the enchantment?
The retreats?
Landfall bullshit.
The retreats are good. Seeing standard play? No, I don't think so. But I think they're just, they always have these cycle of, like, limited cards. Like they had the sieges, right?
Right.
And it's like something like this. I mean, those are rares. But this kind of feels like that, where like they're unlimited, like they're just really good. They're always going to be good.
It's like
every card is on fire.
They're not like game breaking, but they do give an effect that will help you in limited. You might just run one of, or like 2 different colors, maybe.
Yeah, something maybe like that.
But you don't want you're like, fuck yeah, I got 4 fucking retreats. It's just it's a 3-mana uncommon.
I love that it's 3 mana. 3 mana is perfect. If it was 4 mana, not playable. 3 mana, playable.
2 mana would have been like, I'll play this.
1 mana would have been better.
Yeah, I would have played if it was 1 mana. But have you guys ever seen like a mythic that was so bad that you had to read it like 8 times?
You mean the Quarantine Field?
Yeah.
It's not even that bad.
It's bad.
Chromanticore's not in the set.
yeah.
This is
you
bad.
think this card's bad?
This is really bad.
Go
for
ahead.
a mythic.
Let's find it.
Let's duke it out.
If it wasn't a mythic, it would be okay. I think this is a bad card for a mythic. So Quarantine Field is it's an XX, a white and a white. So it pretty much costs 4 mana to do the very basic thing that it says. So Quarantine Field enters the battlefield with X isolation counters on it. When Quarantine Field enters the battlefield, for each isolation counter on it, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Quarantine Field leaves the battlefield.
You think this is a bad card?
I think it's bad.
You're wrong.
I think it's a great card.
I mean, an expanding Vanishing Light? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but you have to pay 6 mana for it to do hit 2?
Yeah, in control, which is going to be played in, and it's non-land permanents. Like, I think that, you could have 8 mana get casted in a control deck, and this thing will sit back and take out the Planeswalker, the Siege Rhino, and the whatever.
But it's all under one card, though. So if they remove this enchantment, then you get all 3 of those cards.
Well, good thing you're playing control, and you're going to have a counter
the only thing, like Dromoka's Command is a problem.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no. So, how about this? Let's say, for sure, I think it's going to be sideboard and control. I will call it right now that this is going to be in sideboard and control.
I'll fucking throw one of in my
But yeah, I think main deck, I think it's maybe a one of. Because I understand the Dromoka's Command is a big thing. It's like a 4 of. Otherwise, though, I think it's I think the card's super good.
Okay, so the worst baseline, it's an expensive Banishing Light.
Right.
So 4 mana for a Banishing Light. You want to be doing a little bit more with 4 mana, but whatever.
But if you're playing control, sometimes you just got to get rid of something, and this still hits.
So,
it still does the work. You know, even though it's cost a little more, you're playing 27 lands. You're fine.
So the baseline is kind of shitty, but the reason it's good is because it's scalable. You can exile more and more as the game goes on. So if you drop it late game, hopefully they already have whatever enchantment hate out of their hands. I'm not saying it's great, but
is this Mythic scalable though? Like I think it has to be Mythic just maybe because of limited.
It has to be Mythic. I think maybe because of limited.
Multiple targets.
I think of like commander type stuff. Like you can't just have like a card that can like just exile every single thing on the board. In rare slot. I feel like you can wipe a board one-sided and you get to choose everything. I think you can't have it in rare slot.
Yeah, I would rather have like fucking Banishing Light or whatever, or fucking Detention Sphere or whatever the fuck.
What's Banishing Light? What set is that from?
This one, like Theros. That block.
It's Born of the Gods.
Or what about give me Oblivion Ring instead? Give me Oblivion Ring. I'll take it over this Mythic I don't think that's very good.
So it's going away though, Banishing Light's going away.
Yeah, it's going away. So, I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but hey, at least we're getting something.
Dude, you get to take out whatever the fuck you want, whatever Planeswalker, whatever enchantment, whatever.
I just think it's good for certain strategies. The control things, I think it's going to be a good card.
So, going on with the blue-black greatness that I'm going to be making, we have Wasteland Strangler for 2 and a black. It's a 3/2 Eldrazi processor, has the Void. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, target creature gets -3/-3 till end of turn.
That's pretty good.
So, this is what I was saying, that if you can somehow, early game, get cards from your opponent into exile, and then drop this on 3, and just wipe out whatever they have.
Dude, if for some reason this card didn't have a stipulation, if it was just like a 3/2 that came in and did -3/-3 for 3 mana, this card would be like insane. Having the downside of having to have that card in exile makes this card like good but not great.
But blue has a bunch of those, like the flyer that does the whatever that is.
Yeah, that's that common that's horrible. It's not going to see play.
Well, there's another card that's coming out that we'll probably get to here in a second. That I think it's like a 1/3 or something like that it can't be blocked.
And then it has ingest also.
Yeah, it has ingest.
But even just like that counterspell, counterspell on turn 2, it goes to your turn. You fucking.
There's definitely ways to get cards.
I guess you can just get rid of their 1-drop, which isn't great. But.
Is this constructed playable? Because it's rare. So
I don't think constructed playable rarities don't matter.
No, because it's rare. Because if it's not, then it's not. It can't be talked about in limited either, because then it's like the strategy can't be built around it because it's rare. Which we already said. I'm just saying.
But yeah, it's limited, whatever. But I mean, constructed playable. It's so weird that I don't know. I can't wrap my head around what constructed's going to look like, because no one knows how all these cards are going to interact with all of cons and everything. So I would like to say this is going to see play.
I'm going to go on a limb and just say that I don't think that the getting a card in exile is going to be reliable enough. I think people are going to try it and see, is it reliable enough to have these cards because they have to have the ingest? I think it's not going to be reliable enough, so I don't think it's going to see play. Even though I think this card is really fucking good and is standard worthy if for some reason they had something that could be a 1-mana flyer or something like that. 1-mana 1/1 that had ingest or something like that to make sure that you can have that opening hand and make sure this thing happens. I know they have the 2-mana stuff, I get that, but I think just having more options for early game to just get ingest, no other extra bonuses, no big power and toughness and trample and whatever else, just to get ingest to trigger off these things, then it would be standard playable. I don't think it's going to be reliable enough to get ingest though.
I just really hope that as this rotation happens and this new set comes in, I hope there's a huge change up to the standard metagame.
There's got to be just.
I know there's going to be a bunch of different things, but I hope it. Because I want to play these Eldrazi, because, that's the fun of it, what's going on with the set. I hope the format slows down enough to be able to play them, and not that, this whole, all these 6, 7, 8 drops are just not viable.
Yeah, a lot of the red stuff's going away, so maybe that'll help.
Abzan looks like it's going to survive the rotation pretty well.
Abzan will survive 100%. Abzan was con, so I know there's some powerhouses that were from Theros block, but now it's going to be a big thing.
I think it's going to become more aggro and less control Abzan and turn more into the aggro Abzan because of the hanger backs and the lower end things you can do now compared to the Elspeth at 6 and the control version of them.
Yep.
Okay, so I know I just said that rarity doesn't matter when it comes to constructed.
No, to limited.
No, to constructed.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Because you're just going to buy the cards and rarity doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I get you. I'm sorry.
So, scatter to the winds for 1 blue counter target spell, instant fucking rare. So, I don't know, that's weird, but it does have Awaken 3 for 4 blue. But just a counter spell at rare? I don't know, we've seen the same converted mana cost counter spells with different things, or
like dissolve.
Exile the card, or scry, or whatever.
This is just cancel, but it has Awaken on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, a 6 mana cancel that gives you a land. Yeah, you get the land, but I don't think it should be rare either. I mean, that seems.
I just don't think it should be a rare because it's just a fucking counterspell.
I think it shouldn't be rare, but you know what's going to see play? All the decks still. Dissolve's going away. This is going to see play. So,
But this is super powerful for 6 mana. You counterspell and get a 3/3. It's pretty fucking good.
Yep. I think it's good. I agree with you that it's like, I don't know if it should be rare or not, but it is, and it's going to see play. So I think we all have to just.
And if you're at 6. If you're at 6 mana in a blue deck, like, you're not really giving a shit about losing a land.
Speaking of lands, how about Blinded Cataracts? Or excuse me, Blighted Cataract.
I can't.
Cataracts.
I can't see it. I can't see what card.
I can't even read it, dude.
I just want to say the name. I don't fucking care about this card.
By the way, this card is fucking
pretty good.
Awesome.
So it's a colorless land. You tap and add 1 colorless mana to your pool, and it's for 6 mana, 5 and a blue. You tap and sacrifice Blinded Cataracts and draw 2 cards. So, yeah, I mean, a worst case scenario, it's 6 mana. If you don't have nothing else to do, you can just sack this land and get 2 cards.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it too.
It's an upside.
I thoroughly enjoy it. This is I think card.
if they have a blue-black control deck that's going to be real viable, I think like a one of. I think there should be a one of in there, so I think that's good, and that's fine. I just like it. It's good card.
I mean, this is the kind of card that, like, and honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if this was in a rare slot. Just because drawing 2 cards at instant speed, just because it's a land sitting there, anytime that's already giving you the bonus of casting your other spells, I mean, this is a good fucking card. I'm fine with it on common. That's fine. I'm fine with that entirely. I'm just thinking this is just a good fucking card.
I think it's like a lot of the cards where it's like you can tap for colorless or pay this large amount and do some sort of effect. Most of them I'm like, well, that's kind of crap, But I think this one, drawing 2 cards late game when you top deck a land, you're like, motherfucker. Not only can you trigger landfall with it and then draw 2 cards, that's fucking huge.
And the card from the last set was the Thopter. Whatever once you put the same amount and you get 2 Thopters.
Right. Like I wasn't too impressed with that one.
Well, it was okay for limited. It was if you drop that card, you open your shield pool, you play that card. Because why the fuck wouldn't you? This card is definitely fucking better to draw 2 cards.
Like constructed playability, like Hot Sauce said. Oh man!
Oh my god!
Oh, are you ready?
Oh my! Just
beast. Just Savant. I can't read. I don't know words.
I'm not a savant.
I'm not a wordsmith.
I did the same thing, but in my head, so I'm not dumb out loud.
I read it like literal, like a fucking middle of the country idiot.
So what the fuck does it do?
2 mana,
beautiful.
1 and a green. All right, we're looking good.
Green's a
sexy ass.
It's an elf shaman.
Look at that. Look at them visible abs.
Elf shaman ally. What the fuck is that? It's a mana dork with haste. What the fuck? So it's got
the haste part's what makes this thing viable.
Tapping for any color. You can only spend that for creature spells, and it's a 1/1. So you're just getting like a replacement for Sylvan Caryatid. I'm not going to say it's better than that, but I will say that it will fill the spot just fine and is going to be amazing. Once again, you're getting 4 mana on turn 3, and that's what you want to do.
God, this makes me sad.
Green-red monsters, dude, they want to cast creatures.
This is probably,
the Elvish Mystics are going away.
Yeah, this reminds me of like,
then you can
there's
cast
no more
on turn 2, and then
there's no more Elvish Mystics. Like, there's no more. I think Magic's moving away from like having 1 mana dorks.
They've already.
It just makes me so sad. Because this guy is awesome too.
Because if they together,
together they would be.
I'll tell you right now, this card is going in my Tiny Leader Elf deck.
Yeah, we already knew that. We saw that.
I don't give a man. I'm only playing green. I don't give a shit the other colors. But the fact that it has haste, I had to play him and then drop the other elf I have in my hand too. Like, like I just recently put in a card called Tangleroot into my deck to try out to test, and it was just fantastic today. Because of that, I was able to play like 2 or 3 extra spells in that turn because of having Tangleroot on the field. And that's that 3-mana artifact. Whenever a player plays a creature card, when that creature enters the field, they add a green to the mana pool. So, like, this is the same kind of thing where I'm going to play this and then tap it to play another creature at the same time right then. Like, my elf deck is 90% creatures.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Like, I'm hard for my elf deck. I think that's fucking great.
Yeah, I think it's really
good.
Well,
I have complete disregard for your elf deck. What? That's the name of the next card. For 2 and a black, it's an instant that has Devoid. Exile target creature with power 3 or less. 3 or less. Isn't there a format that plays 3 or less? Oh yeah, slot it right into any Tiny Leaders deck playing black.
No, it's not. Well, not everything's power 3 or less, and it's not converted mana cost 3 or less. But it's still close.
Well, I mean, like, there's a handful of creatures that come in to the battlefield with 3 or more.
How much more sweet would this card be if it was for only a black and 1?
Did I say converted mana cost?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think I said converted mana cost. Power 3 or less. So most creatures in Tiny Leaders come in with 3 or less power, and then you do shit to them and they get bigger. But I really like this card.
I think it's okay. Good comment.
I think it'd be great for Tiny Leaders if it was for 2 converted mana cost. For a black and 1 and not 3.
I just think it's like a limited playable card. I can't say that I don't think it's going to be C play anywhere else. I see what you're saying, but I just don't think it's
this is pack 1, pick 1 in my draft.
Pack 1, pick 1 for sure, though. All day.
You know how we were just talking about it's going to be hard to activate that 3-drop? Well, for 1 and a black, we have Culling Drone. Has Devoid, it's a 2/2 and has Ingest.
Yeah, so there is that. I've seen this with it or whatever, but once again, reliability is the problem.
Right.
This is an option, but you still want it to be like really reliable, and I was hoping it'd be like, this is a great card though. This is a 2/2 for 2 in black, that's already great, and then you get to enable your higher spells. So, like, they put this in here to make Limited like just that much better. Limited will be a much better experience with this card in play. It's gonna be great. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some of this.
Limited is gonna be fucking awesome. Limited is gonna be like
these other cards are
the best Limited I think we've ever.
I think the other good card of this commons right here is the the Benthic Infiltrator, which is 3 mana. It's 2 colorless and a blue. It's a 1/4 Devoid. It has Ingest, and it cannot be blocked. So this is definitely one of the Ingest generators.
Engines.
Yeah. Same thing, only limited, but I mean, it's great. It can't be blocked. Got a big old butt to defend off, all that early shit. It's fantastic.
Well, if you're thinking about if there's some kind of deck that just utilizes Exile so much, and that's like a big thing, like this card is definitely a playable card for that deck as far as making sure there's shit in Exile. So if there actually is an Exile Eldrazi deck, that's possible, because you're making sure shit gets into Exile with it. I'm not saying it's great, I'm just saying if that's the strategy you're doing, you're looking at this card as a possibility.
I think it's too slow. I don't think
if the format goes that slow with how big this fucking set is...
It's just there's a lot of like early blue-black creatures that have shit to do with putting the card back in the graveyard and other creatures that have Ingest. So it's like, WotC's like, hey, fucking do this. You know how they push, certain archetypes? Looks like they're pushing that archetype to where they want to start exiling really early for Dimir.
Okay, I want to move on.
Move it.
Drana, Liberator of Malakar.
Dude. Boner.
Yep.
Okay, this is a card that I just feel when they print cards like this, it's just playable forever. Like, this card is appropriately costed. It's relevant in, like, every strategy. It's not reliant on, like, a certain type of creature type or anything weird. It's just, like, this is, like, a super cheap, like, Archangel of Thune or something like that. It's just a fucking amazing
Vampire
card.
Nighthawk 2.0.
Yeah, so legendary creature, mythic, vampire ally, a flying first strike 2/3 with whenever this thing deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature you control.
I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know.
Well, you feel like letting people know how combat damage stuff works and how much is going to pump your fucking team.
So, first strike happens first. So all your regular strike, quote unquote, regular strike creatures are going to get pumped.
Right. And there's other cards that have came out, previously, whatever, where it's like when a creature you control does combat damage to a player, then put a 1/1 counter on it. This is
Shaman of the Great Hunt.
Whatever it is, things like that, yeah. So, that's really good already, but maybe not, we didn't really see play, but still a good card. This is better because, obviously, he just said First Strike. It triggers it before combat for the rest of the team happens. So, this thing just pumps your team. Every time you attack, you +1 counter.
The one thing,
Fantastic.
One thing I really like about this card, and it makes sense that it's a legendary mythic, but the one thing I like about it is there's no fucking downside for black. It's a 2/3 flyer for 3 that has flying and I already said flying, First Strike, and then it has another ability, which is just fucking amazing. Black doesn't get that, so it makes sense. Legendary and mythic.
Pick them up. Because they're going to be played, forever. I don't know what. I mean, who the hell knows? Maybe just allies, maybe some other thing that's coming out. But, this card's really good. It's like a Brimaz. You just pick up Brimaz because Brimaz will always be a thing. Maybe not find, a home and be a top 8 deck, but this card's fucking powerful. This card is super, super powerful.
This is one card that actually makes me want to play black.
Yeah, it's a very good card.
This is one card that makes me want to play this fucking set. I want to brew with that fucking card. There hasn't been too many cards where I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I want to play it. I'm like, we'll see. But this card, I was like, oh my god.
Do Rakdos with this and the Zata Goblin. There's your starting point. That sounds fun to me. Building something around that shell. Yeah, that sounds good.
This next card that I really like it for some reason. I feel like I shouldn't like it.
I don't like it. Are you talking about the colorless one?
No. This one's good, but I'm talking about the Water Veil.
Oh yeah.
It's for control.
Nah.
It's it's like a time walk. I like it just because it's 6 mana, it's 4 colors, 2 blue. It's a sorcery speed spell. And it says take an extra turn after this one, exile part the Water Veil. It has Awaken 6 for 9 mana, so it's 6 colorless and 3 blue. And so essentially you can get a 6/6 elemental creature land. I don't know, I like it.
Here's the one thing I like about it. Never saw play either though.
This thing should never ever be cast for its normal cost. Has to be cast for the Awaken cost.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. When you do it on your first main phase, take an extra turn after this thing. Okay, well this thing becomes the land becomes a 6/6 with haste. So you attack that turn, and then you get an extra turn, so you attack another turn. So you get 12 points of damage from this one card.
No. It doesn't get haste when you first do it.
Yes, it's haste. Yeah,
all the Awakens have haste.
So you play it on your first main phase, you attack for 6, and then you get to attack for 6 again next turn.
The thing is,
things like that what makes this card more special. Is it going to see play? No. I think that it's still more special having a card that can do all that damage.
Well, to do that Awaken, you need 10 mana, because if you tap your...
That's fair, yeah.
It doesn't untap with haste. So.
I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting there with 10 mana, I wish I could take another turn after this.
Yeah, it's a win more card. It
is not playable. I like the fact that it has that. It's still strong.
This is my version of Emrakul, my 6/6.
The next card is Gruesome Slaughter, which is it's a colorless card. Sorcery. It's 6 mana.
Devoid sorcery.
And it's until end of turn, colorless creature you control gains tap. This creature deals damage.
All colorless creatures you control gain that.
Oh, it's all colorless creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. So it's like a better fight. Except the tapped creature.
They don't fight back, which is sweet.
But you just have the tapped creature.
This card is good.
Oh, it's just to target creature. This whole time I thought it was the player. I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was player 2. Oh my god, yeah. But I think it was the player 2 that could see play.
It's a board wipe, but it's not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be standard playable.
It'll fit in to the Eldrazi play style, but barely.
But it'll fit into Eldrazi EDH decks.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate it.
It's fun.
I hate it.
Other than that, we got all of our the rest of our expedition lands and all that stuff.
Looking good.
We didn't talk about the cycle of retreats.
Yeah, we did.
We did talk about that.
You were gone, I think.
Okay.
And there's the common cycle of landfall creatures that they all just get +1/+1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all they do for landfall.
Something like that.
But we are getting a reprint of Pilgrim's Eye.
Yeah, it's a relevant card. If you'll play it, it's a damn good card for limited, for sure.
Yes, I will pick them all.
And then Sire of Stagnation.
Sire of Insanity.
Soak for this card.
6 mana, 4 blue-black. Eldrazi, devoid. When a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library, and you draw 2 cards?
With a 5/7 body.
5/7 body.
Oh. Got a big butt on that guy.
So, we know that landfall is a thing, so people want to play lands, so it shuts that off.
It's weird that they didn't label it as landfall. That's just weird.
Because it's anti-landfall.
It's also under opponent's control. Landfall
under opponent's control.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's like it's the most anti-landfall card I've ever seen.
It's
should be called land get up.
Here's another thing.
You are an idiot.
Wow. Land stand.
Yeah.
That's better. That's better.
Wow. You're the land stand.
I'm a land stand the shit out of you.
What's the sword of the animist or whatever it is, where like you attach it to a creature and then when it attacks it's just for basic whatever?
Yeah. You search for
Is it May or no? Is it just search for one?
I believe it's a May.
Okay, if it wasn't a May, that'd be sweet because like it's attached to that creature. You can't like pay to unequip it. You attach it to a creature that's not going to attack.
Yeah.
But if it was like attached, they had one creature. They're like, oh, I can't attack, or I can, but then he just wins because he draws all these cards. That's a really rare, stupid thing I thought of. But I was like, man, that would be sweet if they had like they needed lands, and that was one of the ways to do it. That was like one of their main ways, and you just turn that shit off completely.
That's a little side note. That's one other card that I didn't sell was the equipment. Was it Sword of Animist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't sell it because I was like, this is going to see play.
Yeah, I have 7 of them because I'm anticipating that. Yeah, because it's like it went from like being a $1 card to as soon as this started getting like fucking spoiled, it's already up to like $250. And like I don't know how much the player's going to see, but that possibility is there.
I don't think it'll go past $5, but I mean, still $5.
But still, that's fine because now I have all kinds of trading fucking ammo with having 7 of them. Just like I have 6 of the CD Unwrittens, which I was upset about before. I previously pulled all those, but now I'm like, well, sweet, I have money in my pocket because of those. When it comes down to it. So Sword of the Animist is another card like that. Like another one in that same realm as Animist Awakening, where with all these landfall trigger possibilities going on, all this wanting to ramp up situations. Like that's another card that I think has a chance. I mean, even though that one's a little bit more stipulatory because you want to tap out all your mana to do it, so to get the lands entering, but you need like landfall triggers to happen for that to be viable. I mean, it does have spell mastery, so if you have 2 instant sorcerers in the graveyard, those lands don't come in tapped. Otherwise, the lands come in tapped. So then you can do something more with them if you wanted to.
Mark my words, fucking Sultai Eldrazi is going to be a thing.
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure.
I think too,
at least blue-black, in my opinion. Blue-black is the start.
But I think green's way too good not to put in here.
I think so too, but I think for just making sure, if there is something, it's going to be at least that.
And that's what I talked about with him earlier was that this with the Sultai ramp strategy or Sultai ramp colorless strategy, whatever. So you can get your fucking 6 lands and get this thing dropped on turn 4 or whatever, where they still need to play lands to have a chance to win the game. So they're gonna have, if you can protect them and they don't have the fucking chance to remove them, they're gonna have to put that land down. You're gonna draw cards off it. I mean, it's gonna have to happen at some point. So I'm happy with that. I like this card. I'm excited for this card.
And all the expedition lands look amazing.
So I got one more card to mention.
Mention it.
Ugin's Insight.
Ooh.
5 mana. 3 and 2 blue. Sorcery. That's about the only bad thing about this card.
Just the X.
Scry X, where X is the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control, then draw 3 cards. So it's kind of like a dig through time. To scry a whole bunch. If you have an Eldrazi out, then you can go ahead and refill your hand with the best cards of your top 6, 7, scry whatever, scry 6, scry 9, something like that, and you get to go ahead and just basically dig through time. It's not as good as that. Not instant speed, which is huge, not, delve, so you're not getting help into cast it, so it's not better than that, not even close. But, card draw, some of the stuff's going away, Jace's Ingenuity is going away.
This is Jace's Ingenuity with a bonus, and Jace's Ingenuity saw some play.
Yeah, but it's M15 that's going away. Yeah. So, this is going to be maybe a one-of or something under the right strategy. I think it's a really good card. I mean, there's not, the card draw isn't as strong with Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time going away and Jace's Ingenuity. Those 3 cards were the cards. So you gotta have something to fill in the spot. This is a great card. A lot of scries. Blue loves to scry. I think it's gonna see play.
Well, T-Cruise and Dig Through Time are still gonna be in the format for some time. So.
Oh, they still will. You're right.
Yes.
Never mind. Fuck me.
So those are still fantastic cards, but this
I was thinking they're just banned, but yeah, they're not banned. It's standard. Yeah. Fuck me. Okay.
But like you said, Jason's Ingenuity saw play, and this card is that card with bonus. So Yeah, I think it has a chance to see some play too.
I think Scry's good. I think Scry's real good, so it might see some play. I think it'll see some play. So maybe a one of. Why not?
I'm a little bit more excited for the set after seeing, especially all this blue-black stuff.
Are you going to draft Moto?
Attention. Oh, yes, I am definitely... I'm not putting down Moto. I just sold my collection. I'm probably going to, when I buy, packs of this shit, and then I'm not going to want to play with whatever I pull, I'll probably sell it to you guys, and you guys just give me tickets on Moto, and then I can draft with it, sort of thing. I did that with Ryke a long time ago. I sold him a Garrick, however the fuck you pronounce it, and I was just just give me tickets on Moto. I don't really give a shit, so... I'm excited. And
I'm going to be drafting the shit out of it. And then now, the play points or player points, whatever, those things are now, I don't know now, but they're going to be relevant for draft because they weren't for draft before. They were only for, one-on-one stuff. So now I can just go ahead and use those. I think I have, $40 in play points just sitting there, so I wasn't doing anything with them.
How many play points do you have?
I don't know. What is it? I don't know. But I have $40.
Well,
no, you don't buy play points.
No, it converted all the old currencies into play points.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm not playing matches, but I saw that I was like, oh shit, I have $40. That's cool.
I really want to draft a set, but I really want the physical cards. So that means I'd have to actually draft at a store. But that means leaving the house, so I'm just just draft the fuck out of this on Moto. And just say fuck it.
I'm actually more excited for Constructed in this format than Limited. Limited looks fun, but I really want to make some crazy brews.
I'm the opposite because I don't even know what the hell I'm going to brew with. Usually my mind is going crazy with new cards, but this is so out there. I don't know what the fuck to do with them. I have ideas, but I don't know what's a good idea. I don't know what's a really powerful idea.
Right.
The only thing if I had to pick one, I'd pick allies.
Yeah.
For my strategy, for my if I was to choose which if we each are going to kind of pick a direction for standard, that would what I would pick right now, but I'm not sure if that's what it would be.
I'm not surprised by that. That allies seem like you're kind of
I think so too.
Kind of a situation.
When does the rest of the set get spoiled?
Tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the final day where we're going to be all the rest of the commons and uncommons.
So by the time you hear this, you'll have seen everything.
So Friday, tomorrow.
Well, we talked about all the good stuff, because the common and uncommon, it's going to be limited resources stuff. It's not going to be
the stuff you want to go, even though it's not flashy and exciting as seeing rares and mythics, you need to review it if you're going to be doing any kind of drafting or pre-release or that kind of stuff. If you want to do good at your pre-release or your sealed event, go over the commons and uncommons. I can speak from experience from doing this spoiler season with you guys here that it has given me such an advantage against other players who are just opening the card and reading it as they're trying to play. If you go into it knowing that card does that, you're way less likely to punt and miss any triggers that happens on that card. There's been several times while playing against other players that they play a card, and they could have won the game or could have done some other advantage and killed some other creature off, but they forgot the other trigger that happened with that creature or whatever's going on. It's well, that's your fault. I'm not going to tell you because you missed your trigger. I mean, that's your problem. So if you review these cards, you're going to have an advantage going into it. So take the time, read through them. They're exciting because they're new cards anyways. Just because they're not as flashy as rares, you need to go through the commons and uncommons, and you will do better at your events.
Well, it's just good to know what's in the format, because if you're going up against an opponent and they have a white and a red open, and you're I know what spells or tricks they could have.
Yeah, that, and we mentioned before, or at least I have, that when you're looking to be, learning about limited or whatever, just look at the commons. Just go with that's what's going to be coming out. You can't rely on drafting the uncommons and rares. You just can't rely on that. You would want to say, I do Sphinx's tutelage every game, but you just can't do that. But the commons you can. You can go ahead and if you want to really have a good idea of what would be best in the Magic Origins green, black, whatever, you're going to have the options to get all those cards you want, basically. Most of them, so you go ahead and learn as much as you can about the commons and what you can do to build a deck that way, and then your extra advantage would just be the uncommons and rares. That's just the extra. That's just your little bonus, your little win more almost or something like that.
These commons work well with this rare I just opened. I mean, that's just something that will help out for sure.
Definitely.
Commons are most important in limited. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's been it for episode 53 of If Lands Could Kill. Stay tuned for a special exclusive Knifecity track world preview on TRL.
Oh, yeah. Carson Daly. One thing too, I bought a new camera.
Yay!
Finally, more versus videos to come,
Yeah,
right?
higher quality versus videos coming at you. So that'd be nice.
Sweet.
I was getting sick of the GoPro a little bit, so
yeah,
the quality is bugging me, and then of course I've had like little issues with the memory cards and stuff. So I would like to start fresh and just have better quality and no more fisheye. Yay!
Yay! So back to episodes on Mondays.
And
that was a little kick in the ass for me because I need to get them out on fucking Mondays.
and versus
videos on Wednesdays because that's what it says on the website, which hasn't been updated. God, we're bad at this.
I don't have to do anything, so there's no pick for me.
Also,
I'm kicking you guys, so that's my job.
I was mentioning we might have a little bit of a transformation with the cast, not as far as like us and like content, but as far as like description and like just the title, what you see as a new listener or whatever on our homepage about like what we really talk about. We should go and cater to the novice a little better than we do, and we really don't as much anymore. It's been like probably 6 months since we've really done something for brand new players, so I think we either need to go back to that or just change it up on our description and see what we're really about. More comedy and more tiny leaders and things like that.
You know what? And fuck fucking CJ Leach or CL. Whatever the fuck
CJ,
that guy is.
dude.
Fucking CJ.
This guy, dude.
Giving us shit about fucking talking about tiny leaders. That's what we do, motherfucker.
That's what we do. Get used to it, dude.
Get some email or something?
Yeah, we gotta. He was more joking around.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So, I'm Knifecity.
This is Ryke.
So Ryke gonna wake up there.
Yeah. What? And hot sauce.
And we'll catch you guys later.
That was interesting.
Skill lies in his ability to know where your back needs scratching.
Now, Peter. Peter, now. Now.
We're gangsters, we play Steam, fuck DOD source. Won't like you so much you won't play anymore. Rippity rip, stab, shank, enjoy your trip to spawn. Just call me John Deere, cause I'm cutting you like lawn. I'll nade your ass in northbound, I'll cut you up and call it. You won't stand a chance, an avalanche start, it's not my fault. You got a back full of holes, now you gotta be pissed. Say hello to the Knifecity Alchemist. You got an itchy back, well we'll back scratch. We detach limbs, back scratch for the win. Anger's deadly with the spade, your skin will wear thin. The handle of our shank is where the fun begins. Back scratcher is where the fun begins. Y'all know Anger, he loves the bayonet. You see it's like his dick, cause it's always wet. Like Captain Ahab when he plunged that harpoon. Keep hearing back scratcher will make you rage quit soon. Make you rage quit soon, make you rage quit. See, we knife all day cause we don't give a fuck. When we see noobs, we eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Don't forget about that riot, just cause he's so quiet. When he points with his knife, he leads a back scratch quiet. Fuck the K98, I'll rock a knife any day. I'll cut you up like carrots, then I'll watch your blood spray. Just blame it on your team, or blame it all on lag. Just know that I'm smiling when I watch your throat sag.